And we'd like to welcome you guys back to another session of Metroid Prime No Way Home.
It's actually a very good title.
And another case of, well, another 6 hours of Miles, please stop using the communicator and just let me explore in peace.
Kind of reminds me of like a 5-year-old saying like, "Hey mom, I just wanted to call to make sure you were okay." Which is funny considering that Samus is a woman.
Let's just go to the forge.
So what you cooking on the Super Bowl, Yoshi?
That is a game time decision.
Gotcha. I was telling Yoshi earlier on chat, text, that I'm going to a house music party that's also a Super Bowl party. I know how that's gonna work out.
Ah, damn it, that's the wrong way.
I feel like the Super Bowl isn't as popular as it used to be, though.
It's not.
Especially after 2020, it just went downhill from there. I mean, it was always kind of going downhill, but that just accelerated the whole thing.
When I was a kid, the exciting thing about the Super Bowl was I got to stay up and watch it.
Hi, Miles. Have you... Hey, Samus. Did you know that, cows go moo?
I knew you were gonna come up with that.
Hey, Samus, did you know that grass is green? Greener than those crystals. Isn't that fascinating?
I wish we could drive in the greenery.
Honestly, that would be great.
I mean, it's like when I showed off Xenoblade Chronicles last week, I'm like, yes, it's like, have that kind of environment.
You know what's even funnier? Like, the desert was actually Tanabe's idea.
Don't tell me you got the idea of playing Mass Effect because,
No.
I've
He
already
got it
been...
because of the whole, like, Breath of the Wild craze, and it's just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have this hub, and I'm gonna purposely make it so it's barren and empty because it's supposed to be a transitional area. That's all this desert is. Just a transitional area. That's the only thing he had in mind for this.
That is not how you do Metroid map design at all. And if you were going to go open world, it's like, you know the reason why I kept hawking Monolith Soft? I'm going, hey, maybe let's have them try their hand at a Metroid area where it's like, it's not just a wide 200 square kilometer world where it's like going to be a bunch of flatlands and a bunch of other terrain. Let's see them actually build a map with proper depth in it. I mean, you could arguably say, the depths in Breath of the Wild that may have been that, but that's not enough.
It kind of begs the question, if this was supposed to be like basically a glorified loading screen, then why have loading screens leading to a bigger loading screen, leading to a following loading screen, and then getting to the next area? Like, you might as well just not had this desert at all. Like, the desert doesn't add anything to the game. And it was never meant to, which baffles me, but Tanabe made a lot of dumb decisions regarding Paper Mario, so, I mean, doesn't surprise me.
And honestly, though, and I'm going to say this for the record, I think we as a fan base probably gave Super Paper Mario a little bit too much flack. It's like...
I agree with this, because it was actually a good game.
Yeah, and I understand that it's like some people do want to scratch that thousand-year door itch again. It's like people have done it with what was the South Park RPG that was more Paper Mario-esque? Was that Stick of Truth? And then Clear Obscure on top of that as well? Like, they just wanted to scratch that Action Command RPG itch again. I don't blame them for that.
Yeah. I will say that I am glad that, we did get a remake of Thousand Year Door. But I would like to see a new Paper Mario game with that same style. Since Tanabe retired. Though I know next to nothing about the person who is supposedly replacing him. Here comes Mr. Mackenzie again. And I just find it really dumb that at the very end of the interview, Tanabe said, "It is my deepest regret that we didn't get more time with the NPCs, with the Federation soldiers, due to time constraints." I'm like, are you serious? So you wanted to double down on this?
I'm like, were you seriously thinking you would get, like, a 20 to 50 hour RPG budget?
Yeah.
This is a 12-hour exploration game, not a 20 to 50 hour RPG where everyone gets their day in the limelight.
Not to mention, that's not even what a Metroid game is supposed to be. It's like Samus doesn't have to be completely isolated, but oh my goodness, we don't need to see these soldiers and have the gameplay take a back seat just so they can exist everywhere. And the fact that he regrets not having more of that, it's like, honestly, I'm kind of glad that we didn't get more. If that's what was planned, the game would have been probably worse.
Or it's like, if I wanted that, then I'll just play Republic Commando.
Pretty much.
And Republic Commando is actually a competent game, so I'll give him that.
But again, it's literally, that's probably what it's supposed to be, but with Metroid, no, it kind of defeats the whole point. Defeats the purpose entirely. And again, like I said, Samus doesn't have to be completely isolated, though it would help. But, like, they could have done what they did in Prime 3, for example. Where you had companions show up here and there, but they take a back seat. They're not like, oh, we're here to stay for, like, the whole game. It's like, nah. You know what's even funnier? Like, there were some riders that were actually really good, but then Tanabe had to let it go because it didn't match his vision, so it was literally the Yoshio Sakamoto thing all over again with other M, except it was Kensuke Tanabe. So, that makes a lot more sense now. It was basically his ego. And this is exactly what happens when you have executive producers. Oh, and here's the thing. Tanabe was never really a gamer. He was more passionate about filmmaking. Which, again, makes a lot of sense as to why he made a lot of these weird decisions that he made, because he knows, like, next to nothing about video games, turns out.
You might as well just have put Kojimbo in the director's chair, and then he probably would have done a better job at that, unironically. And see, this is the problem when you have execs taking over and you giving creative control to them because they don't know what the heck they're doing, and as a result, they just screw everything up. Or an exec who's not in tune with the series.
Exactly. And the person that's gonna replace him, even she was like, what does this have to do with Metroid? Like, she was questioning him too.
Okay, I don't have to do anything there. Ow. I'll take deep fried droids for 600, Alex. Do I really need to go that way? All I need to do is just drop down. What kind of burrito was it? Was it one of those really loaded ones? I forgot what I usually like in a burrito or what my usual filling is.
Shrimp is my go-to.
Shrimp burritos aren't bad.
Beans, cheese, rice, occasionally either carne asada or chicken. It doesn't really, it depends on my mood, but I would also have to include cilantro.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, usually with cilantro, I always add like a little bit of lime to it.
Yeah, I could see that. Mm-hmm.
That sounds good.
Yeah. A couple of squeezes of lime and that'll neutralize the cilantro for me.
What type of salsa do you guys like best? Green or red?
Red. Though green salsa can be good too, but I prefer red.
Yeah, for me it's gonna be red.
Miguel's, that's a good place to go. Also Miguel's Jr., which is kind of like a division, or like a fast food division of Miguel's, and they still do make pretty good food there.
Yeah, there was this one place my folks usually recommended whenever they were out in San Francisco, but it's more of a mom and pop place. It's not a franchise place. That place.
Oh, that's like the whole state is covered in Mexican restaurants, mom and pop Mexican restaurants. So yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting a little bit better about that here, but for a long time there was a lot of the Tex-Mex restaurants, if you know what I'm talking about.
Tex-Mex, you can't go wrong with Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex is pretty good, but I also like some of the California style, other
mission style stuff.
Yeah.
Communication not available. The one time we want to talk to Miles and can't.
Yeah, maybe next time it's like, for the interview, it's like, can you explain what game you were thinking of when you're trying to build the hint system? Because for me, it's like, oh, you know what I would say, it's easily Metal Gear Solid. It's like, if you don't have a robust hint system based on that, don't bother with it at all. If it's a dialogue-heavy hint system.
And you know what makes matters even weirder? I think Tanabe was behind the whole Miles McKenzie hand-holding thing, too. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah. Also, this is probably the best boss in the whole game right here. Well, one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this? You want to get a beam? Nah, you gotta go all the way back to Fury Green.
Alright.
It's also even funnier because the interview actually explains Silux a lot better than the game does. So some of his decisions make a little bit more sense while others were just like, okay. And get this, Tanabe made the ending lackluster on purpose.
What?
And he wanted the player to feel like, wait, that's it?
Probably make a sequel.
To set up for future titles.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing
that was his plan, but he did that on purpose.
That's the sort of thing George Lucas does.
Yeah, but not to that extreme. Like, we've got literally nothing
Gotcha.
in this game. Like, once you see the ending, you'll understand.
How do you guys feel about the prequels? Now, see, I grew up with the original 3, so I had a difficult time at first, but I'm compared to the Disney stuff, they're great.
You know, I always found that really funny. I always liked the prequels, and now people are like, you know, after they've seen the Disney shows, within the Disney movies, they're like, you know, maybe the prequels weren't that bad after all. And for crying out loud, the prequels had the best fighting scenes out of all of Star Wars.
And they had great choreography.
Exactly.
Music too.
Yeah, John Williams kind of one-upped himself with Revenge of the Sith, and although it's a question of whether you prefer Duel of the Fates or Battle of the Heroes more.
Yeah. Probably Battle of the Heroes more.
Personal stakes.
Yeah. Because at least Duel of the Fates kind of had more variety with the chord progression as opposed to Duel of the Fates. Battle of the Heroes has, you know, a lot more variety with that. Duel of the Fates is just kind of like the same chord progression over and over again.
Is Battle of the Heroes Anakin versus Obi-Wan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What was Duel of the Fates played at Dooku versus Yoda and Obi-Wan?
No, not with Dooku versus Yoda. It was Palpatine versus Yoda for a segment of it.
Okay.
Right.
That Dooku versus Yoda scene was pretty cool in my opinion.
Well, until you see just how much more lethal Count Dooku was in some of the animated series, such as the time he got poisoned and went, "I do not need my eyes to see you, Jedi." And he fought them entirely blindfolded and one-handed.
Oh.
In his own PJs.
One thing you have to grant the prequels is they're consistent. They have a direction. The Disney stuff is just like, yeah, like the, what was the last of the sequels?
Because it was like J.J. Abrams basically did and said, yeah, it's like, I've already made a framework, don't fuck it up, and then guess what? It invariably fucked up.
Well, I think a lot of that had to do with Kathleen Kennedy and less of J.J. Abrams. Because I know that they ultimately, like, unanimously decided, okay, we're not going to bring back the people who did the fight choreography, we're just going to do our own thing. And then I love how Kathleen Kennedy was like, we never had original scripts, and then it's like, yeah, you did, but you dismissed it, so don't lie. And then, of course, when Kathleen Kennedy stepped down, she's like, oh, well, I have no regrets. It's like, wow.
You just messed up a bit.
Star Wars and you don't regret it one bit.
It's like
that ain't a slap in the face.
It's like it was a franchise that George and who else? Kasdan and damn, who else am I forgetting? Who were big names for Star Wars, or at least.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't place the name.
Lawrence Kasdan was one of them.
Wasn't it something with an I, or was that Kasdan?
Irvin Kershner?
Yeah.
That was more or less directing, but...
Okay. You're talking about actually writing them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, guys in the writing room were Elsa powerhouses in the creative department. Although, granted, George kind of overplayed his hand with nerfing Grievous, because they're like, yeah, Clone Wars Grievous is a little bit too broken.
So Grievous didn't have the Force, he just knew how to use lightsaber.
Yeah, and mechanical. He had mechanical enhancements that caused them to do things which confused the Jedi, because they weren't familiar with the horn styles. Grievous kind of did his own thing.
And Obi-Wan was able to defeat him.
Well, here's the thing, like, him not being able to use the Force was definitely one of his weaknesses, but I feel like narratively it makes sense why Grievous was nerfed in Revenge of the Sith, because he did get his chest crushed by Mace Windu, hence why he had that cough.
I've never seen the Clone Wars, so I'm missing out on a lot of. I've seen a few episodes.
That's the original Clone Wars, not the one that Dave Filoni made.
Yeah, you want to watch like the OG Clone Wars. I want to say the 2003 series. If you're wondering who made it, it's the same guy who made Primal, and I can't pronounce his name to save my life.
I could definitely see some similarities between that and Primal.
Same director. Well, same
No,
show.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that makes sense to me because, yeah, it has a very similar art style and the animation style is very similar as well.
I'm trying to pronounce his name right now. Gennady Tartakovsky, I believe it was, but yeah, forgive me if I'm butchering the pronunciation, but he's one of Cartoon Network's powerhouse players.
I hear Cartoon Network is coming back, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be bad, so I don't care.
They went off cable for a while?
Yeah.
See, I don't have cable, so I have no idea what's going on.
They came back a bit, but it's more or less like their 2000 stuff is in the afternoon block, or more like the morning block, and then weekends is more like their classic Hanna-Barbera stuff, as in the stuff Warner Brothers got from Hanna-Barbera. So that's more or less the weekends, and then 6 o'clock gone. It's basically Adult Swim. I'm kind of surprised they moved it to 6 o'clock, because normally it's like it would start like 7 or 8, but it's 6 now of all times.
For Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, those were fun. Man, those were some good ones back. There was this one where people are in these like mech kind of. It wasn't BattleTech or Robotech. I can't remember what it was, but they were in these mech. They were like more like elementals.
Powered armor ish.
Yeah. It was really cool. I don't know how many seasons it lasted. And then there was another one where
that doesn't narrow it down because there's a lot of cartoons that had that.
Yeah.
Do the Batman Beyond line.
And then there was one where there was skeletons. There was like undead skeletons. And they
that 2002 He-Man Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
Miles, I'm already on my way to you. Shut up.
Come on back to base camp so I can take a look.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep talking about how good 2000s television was.
But this was before 2000 for me.
Okay.
It was like,
Well, I mean, even back then,
90s.
90s
Yeah, it
had
was-
good stuff too. 90s,
X-Men
early
cartoon
2000s.
show. X-Men cartoon show was pretty good.
I have not
Really
seen
nervous,
Fox Kids
like,
X-Men,
not-
believe it or not.
What'd you say, Yoshi? I'm sorry.
I have not seen Fox Kids era X-Men, believe it or not.
And there was also Fox Kids there. I mean, maybe not Fox. There was also Batman.
I mean, there was
That
the
was
Spider-Man, the 90s Spider-Man show, which was really good. I binged that several times.
And you've binged Transformers G1 as well. What else? Other good 90s or 2000s series I'm missing.
I mean, they would air Dragon Ball Z back in the back then. I mean, that's more of an anime then, but I mean, it's still a cartoon. You could still call it that. But they did air that.
Was that on the Toonami block or was that on Rabbit Ears?
It was I mean, I believe it was on Jetix. It was also on Toonami. Yeah.
You know, one thing I don't understand is people that want to watch old 70s game shows. You can see it when I had Rabbit Ears.
Actually, I can totally understand that because they were actually really funny and the hosts were actually charismatic for the most.
Right.
I mean, I will say Steve Harvey is still pretty charismatic and he's still really funny, but aside from him, who else is there? You know?
Yeah, not really. It's like You don't have like the anticipation factor of Bob Barker. You don't have I forgot what Regis' shtick was.
There was also Tom Bergeron, who was kind of funny.
Yeah, Hollywood Squares with him. That was good.
AFV before YouTube and memes were a thing.
Yeah. And the guy, and yeah, Tom Bergeron's successor for AFV. I was surprised. It's like, you got Carlton from Fresh Prince to take the mantle now. I'm like, damn. Not that he's a bad pick or anything, but I was like, holy crap, he worked his way up the ladder.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what some people don't. Elvis never understood that. He thought that his success as a singer was going to get him good Hollywood roles. When really, I mean, by the time he got to Hollywood, all anyone wanted was it for him to sing, pretty much.
Holy cow! Samus! I knew you'd make it.
You have to earn roles.
Because you're Samus Aran.
I'm sure there's a lot of corruption. Also.
Excellent.
Sarge, come on.
Or the so-called
It's
casting
TV,
couch.
which is correct.
I know.
What'd you say, Yoshi? I'm sorry.
Or the so-called casting couch.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could use a breather. Let me know if you need anything. Let's go, kid.
Glad you're okay.
I could never make it
Don't
in
know what we'd do
Hollywood.
without you.
It's too cutthroat for me.
I would never want to be in Hollywood.
You're making it worse. Hold on.
A lot of the film industry came to Atlanta for a while, but it doesn't seem as hot anymore.
Then the whole thing with Warner Brothers being absorbed by Netflix, it's like, oh, well, goodbye movie theaters.
Hey, Samus.
Yeah,
After my leg was fixed
It's like, and Warner Brothers had some banger hits back then. I'm going,
He's been
just
saying that
bad
for
decision
an hour.
after bad decision, and debt loading, and picking a person who's notorious for budget cutting
What about now?
the Discovery Channel to be the next head. I'm going,
Good.
oh god.
Welcome back, Samus.
I mean, honestly, with, everyone's saying, oh, theaters aren't doing good. It's like, people will go to a theater and see something really good if what they're seeing is really good. Like,
What was the last movie I went to the theater for? It was Godzilla -1. I have not been to the theater at all in the last calendar year, believe it or not.
I've been seeing some movies in the theater off and on.
I think my last one was the Beetlejuice sequel. Now, that was pretty good, I have to admit.
Let's see.
I mean, it's light. It's a light movie, but it's interesting. It's just not meant to be taken that seriously.
I think last year.
You know, do you guys remember the Casper movie? Casper
Yes.
the Ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some disturbing parts in it, like where the two ghosts want to murder their friend so he'll become a ghost. It's like, yeah, you guys didn't need to go there.
Or the time Dan Aykroyd
mean-
got chased out of the mansion. Oh, I haven't even hit the 50% crystal market. I'm like, I kind of don't care about that right now. That can wait. I'll wait until I just get PVs and can blow up all the big crystals.
Let me see what you brought me. This also looks like a circuit with a chip inside.
No duh.
This one's gonna be fun. Just like I thought.
I know that,
With a few
you probably
tweaks,
know
we'll be
this,
able to
but
use it
this
in
is
the
a
shop.
chip, and it goes in your arm cannon.
He's like,
And
I've
I know
sto-
I
I've
explained
stolen
this to you
weapons from
before, but you
everybody
can
else
use a
before.
new
Time to
shot.
surprise even myself. This one's a
That's another
Yeah.
thing regarding these guys. All they do is give dialogue. They're just here for exposition. They don't add anything. And then the quips that they have make no sense too. Like, for example, Duke, who's probably one of my
presenting the Thundershot.
One of my favorite
Electric shock is
characters
effective against
regarding
mechanical
the
enemies, and I
regarding
think
the
you'll be able to
troopers,
provide
which isn't
electricity
really
to
saying
devices.
much, considering how
What do you
many
think?
egregiously annoying ones there are.
All right. Let me know if there's anything
But,
else I can do to help you out.
Yeah, Duke does make a lot of food puns, specifically the red velvet cake thing, and I'm just
Let me know
like,
if there's
okay,
anything I can do to help find the teleporter key.
I wouldn't really call them
Mackenzie
puns, they're
told me
more
we could
like,
get home by using a teleporter. Wild.
they're just more like, okay, I'm just gonna mention food for some reason.
Oh, and I can't get myself burned on this fireplace, but every other one of Rieger's fireplaces I can get torched by myself. I'm like, wow.
I love that they're cooking one of those, I forget what they're called, but, you know, you find them in the water. It's kind of interesting.
Tragic.
You know, my PlayStation 1 controller is having problems.
Thundershot.
Takabi is probably my all-time favorite. Other way. Oh yeah. Also, it's delayed for me, so.
Yeah.
No, actually, I was right. It was the other side. Never mind. It's funny. It's delayed for me, but I still got yes. My criticism was still right. It's like, no, you gotta go the other way. It's kind of funny, actually. Also, I think these are the only puzzles for the beam weapons. Like, specifically, you only freeze a couple of geysers here and there, but you don't really do it anywhere else.
Yeah, it's like, you look at other games that... I mean, Prime 2 is a big no-duh for me, but it's like... What are some other games where it's like the puzzle-solving elements stack iteratively one on top of each other? Portal 2.
I would say Prime 3 also did.
Yeah.
People give Prime 3 a lot of grief, but it was a very solid game, and honestly, it's funny, just like the Star Wars prequels, I feel like people are going to appreciate Prime 3 a lot more now, given what we got here. Was it the weakest of the trilogy at the time? Sure, but it was still a very good game.
I honestly thought my first thought with this puzzle was I thought I had to complete a circuit with a triangle.
Yeah.
Not pointed towards the
I'm
pod.
confused about this one too.
Three for 3 with the elemental puzzle solved, and my prize is just an energy tank.
That's a pretty nice prize, actually. So imagine if they had like a special combination shot for like the fire, the ice, and the electricity all in once. Kind of like the Pokemon move Tri-Attack.
That's one thing that really irked me about this, especially when I was going to do the final boss. I'm going, why do I always have this force a habit of trying to force charge beam combos? I'm like, yeah, those really should have been a thing.
Well, technically they had like an expansion for the shots, but yeah. I guess that's kind of what they meant. They're just like, okay, we're just gonna do this instead.
Yeah,
Yeah, here's your ice spreader, you know.
A two-tiered charge system. I'm going. It's like, guys, I just want to be able to hold ZR and press X, or it's like, I just want to be able to hold Y and then press X. Or it's like, that's what or it's like, you could take out 3 of the 10-point ammo expansions and replace them with charge combo puzzles, Or, actually no, replace those with Viola puzzles out in the field, and then have those Viola trials give you the charge combos.
Be nice.
I'm forgetting which of the shrines is the one with Spider Ball. Yeah. I'll just unlock the rest. I might as well just get tier 2 ice and the first lightning. You know, I kind of do wish rather than some of the droids we got, could have just had arrow pirates hounding us. I'm going, oh, I can just frisbee the arrow pirates. Hope they don't crash on top of me. Nope. Nope. Ring of Thunder, that was the one. Or imagine if this plane's had like a frickin' Four Seasons mode.
I feel like it just wouldn't have been necessary, quite frankly.
Move at will across this place. Not that I'd like to, but... where's a fast travel flute when you need it?
That's another dumb thing. If this place was supposed to be just a glorified loading screen, then why don't we have fast travel? From what Tanabe was saying, this desert was just kind of shoehorned in, and it's just like, okay, well, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose aside from busy work, and, you know, it gives them, because people like open world, we'll just give them a little place to explore, even if there's nothing in it. I don't know, it's just so backwards and so baffling.
I'm expecting to see the Fremen at some point.
Yeah,
and
I
honestly,
wish we could
if
have
this
attacked
desert
Sandworms.
didn't exist, it would be so much better. Because the other areas would have at least have been more fleshed out.
Imagine if we had to face a Morgus out here. It's like, oh, they're guarding a big, giant green energy crystal. It's like, oh, shit, is this where we're going with this now?
Oh, and you know another thing? It was actually, I believe it was also Tanabe's idea to do the bike as well. Because he was the kind of like, I really like motorcycles, and oh, that'd be so cool if Samus rode a motorcycle. And that's literally what his inspiration was in regards to this. He just thought it would be cool if Samus rode a bike. And then he was just so set on the idea that he kind of built the game around it, and it's like, oh my goodness. No. I don't know, again, like, I recommend just reading the, like, full interview, like, the interview on Shine Sparker's website, because, oh my goodness. It's absolutely maddening. Some of the decisions and some of the, just, the mentality behind some of these decisions, too. It's just, ugh.
You guys ever had controllers go out on you?
Many times.
I remember why I was sort of glad to get past the PlayStation 1 era back in the past. My PlayStation 1 I have, it works, but the controller stopped working. It's like, well, guess this is what you get when you get, vintage stuff. Do you know if they still print those? Or are they all used now? Not the PlayStation itself, the controllers.
Like the OG DualShocks?
I don't think... Yeah, I guess that would be the... Yeah. To do a search.
What was that ice one I was looking for? It's an ice shrine with a thunder cap. I don't remember where that was relative to where I am. Oh. Shit, I don't remember where that was. What now, Miles? No, duh, I can read a map. I can figure out where a Thunderlock is.
And not an exaggeration when I said, hey, Samus, pigs are pink. Samus, I found this really fascinating fact. You know, cars have 4 wheels? That's insane.
Let's try northeast. Better yet, I'm already by the Vault Forge entrance. I might as well just throw on the frickin' scanner while I'm here. That'll save me a shit ton of headaches. How bottom was it? Here. Ow. This will cut down on the headaches. Cool.
One thing I could just imagine, just Miles McKenzie just becoming more and more deranged with his explanation. And then just him getting increasingly more and more frustrated. Like, hey, Sims, I know you haven't been answering me, but did you know the clouds are white in the sky?
There should be a hang up button in dialogue.
Oh, seriously, there really should be a hang up button. And then underneath his helmet, you could just, his eyes are just twitching, just get the feeling Samus doesn't care about what I have to say.
I mean, it's no joke when Slippy is less annoying than him.
Seriously.
Or at least Slippy did something useful in Star Fox Adventures, which was, you know, provide translation when Fox didn't have the translator module yet.
Right.
It's like Peppy's going, hey, I've taken a look at your map, and this looks like what you don't have just yet. And Slippy's like, hey Fox, are you lost? Give me a holler. But in which case, you know, you could just call Slippy in case you're lost. He doesn't butt in to tell you what's what.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I really hope this isn't true. And I think Nintendo was just like, okay, I don't think this is... Like, no, this is not true at all. But we'll see. They could just be denying that the leak is real. They've been kind of known for lying in the past. But, apparently, we might be getting Metroid Prime 2 on Nintendo Switch Online. I hope this isn't really true. Because if it is, it means we're not getting a remaster of 2. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at Shine Sparker's website, and I already see something really stupid. It's like, supporting Minnesota against ICE. I'm like, okay.
Like, guys, you're a gamer magazine. Stick to the topics you were paid to cover.
Exactly. It's like... Speaking of which, there was an update on the whole Alex Preddy thing, and turns out the guy wasn't as innocent as everyone says. Like, there was footage of him literally kicking a vehicle's tail light out, which means that the agents had dealt with him before. It's like, okay, well, you know, if you're antagonizing the police, I mean, what happened to him was a tragedy. I'm not downplaying that, but at the same time, it's like, I hate to say it, but he put himself in that situation, and he unfortunately paid for it. You know, it's just, it's sad, but it's the truth.
I would say at some point the age of victim blaming might be over, and it's going to be a big case of, yeah, welcome to the world of fuck around and find out.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I forgot there was worms in the water here. Yep, what did I say? Oh,
Yeah,
and these are a bonus scan, or an extra one.
Yep.
Oh, really?
And don't you find it even funnier that it's like, okay, here's the same enemy from Theory Green, but except it's green now. Like, I understand that past Prime games had different variants of the same enemies, but there was still way more variety.
Or at least you knew how to adjust your tactics for each encounter.
Right.
Such as like, oh crap, it's like these are different colored pirates that actually tried to steal your suit tech, or at least try to copy it. Okay, what do I do now? It's like, alright.
Or the dark variants and echoes. It's like, okay, they're way stronger and they do more damage.
And you can't fight them conventionally.
You can use a specific beam to do more damage to them. You know, it's like there was still strategy involved.
And it's the reason why, you know, why I hate to say this, and this may seem like a hot take to some of the shooter community. That is why I preferred Half-Life 1 over 2 when it comes to replayability. Because at least in 1, it's like there's a wide enough variety of goons, and you have a wide variety of tools where it's like, you know, you want to think about how you want to take these foes on. It's like, okay, it's like, I have a weapon to take on Marines. I have a weapon to take on the trash. I have a weapon to take on some of the advanced alien goons. 2 didn't really do that to me. But then again, it's like gunplay kind of took a backseat in 2. A bit. Because most of the time you were just dealing with Combine goons. I'm like, yeah, this ain't as fun as I would think it would be. And unironically, I think that's why I also prefer playing the first Fear installment as well. Because it's like, even though it's the same goons, it's more like, you know, there's a little bit of set piece and strategy to every fight that you have to head on. Oh. Need one of these.
You guys ever seen any Stargate SG-1?
A bit, like some of the earlier seasons. Basically when it was on, like, on a Rabbit Ear substation, but I believe Prime Video has the re-airing rights to those now, or at least on streaming.
Oh, okay. I need to watch this sometime. I've seen a few episodes randomly.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Prox?
Said I do want to rewatch that myself.
There's other gods, isn't there? There's like the Norse gods and everything.
Yeah, I've watched the original film and I've seen some episodes of SG-1 here and there, including the ones, like some of them when the lead 2 left, and then you basically were just running with SG-1's B team. Although I do have to say, it's like, damn, that was what Claudia Black looked like back in the day. I was like, she voices one of the side characters in Mass Effect, and she was also Morgan in Dragon Age, believe it or not. Okay, one of these is the extra lightning shrine. I need Spider Ball for that next, so screw it. Let's just go pop some icicles.
I have a hard time seeing Richard Dean Anderson in that role. I'm not saying he does bad in it, I'm just saying when I see him I think it's going to be MacGyver or something.
Well, you weren't wrong, because did you see that Simpsons episode with Richard Dean Anderson?
No, I missed that one. No,
okay, so it's like, yeah, Patty and Selma were huge MacGyver fans, but then they kidnapped Richard Dean Anderson, who was supposed to be making a convention appearance for Stargate SG-1.
Oh, man. MacGyver was a pretty good show. I know some people thought it was cheesy, but it had some interesting parts sometimes.
Sorry, Event. I'm just getting a little bit irked going, yeah, damn it, Miles. I'm already on my way there now. Now, just shut the fuck up!
There's a game in the XCOM series that's supposedly like the black sheep of the game. It's called XCOM Enforcer. Kind of reminds me of the Professor in that game. Except I would actually argue that the Professor isn't. Actually, no. I think the Professor is slightly more annoying than Miles. Despite that, I actually really liked the game, though. A lot of people hate it because it wasn't XCOM.
Yeah, and I still gotta find Rieger's fireplace scenes. That they can wait. What's the lore sheet I'm missing? Okay, one in Fury Green, and then I think this one is probably in early Flare Pool, like one before delivery status. Where's the around here before the security station? I'm missing a lore sheet around here. I hope I'm right with that, but let's just get this item out of the way, so I'm like, I can just drive right to the save station when all is said and done. Or you know what I wish we could have had with these rails? A chance to hop rails. Sorry, I was just playing East 10 Nordics last year, and that was the first thing that kind of came to my mind. Just a couple of rail hopping puzzles. I mean, yeah, I get Spireball's already a thing, but still. And to your point with the loading area, I'm going, why do we have so many transition scenes? It just feels, I don't want to say inorganic, but
of all the places, I'd say that the two places in this game that feel the most Metroid Prime, despite the linearity, would be Volt Forge and Icebell.
I'd say these venues work in like a linear Half-Life style fashion, but... Or you could argue a Halo style fashion as well, but... No. I'm happy I can just tackle those guys.
And you know what's kind of funny? A lot of people blamed the Halo devs for, you know, it feeling like Halo, but no. Again, all Tanabe.
Get me your sat-napped out of place so I can just clean this place out and not come back here again.
What was the beast on Empire Strikes Back, the snow beast?
The Wampa?
Yeah, I couldn't think of it. You're gonna see one of those soon, aren't you?
I wish.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I wish. The most we got was a stupid wolf.
Or it's like, it would have made sense if we had a Griever riding a direwolf, and we could have had something like, what was that pirate Lancer fight in Prime 3? What was the thing he rode?
Or actor thing?
Yeah, that one. We could have had something like that.
Yeah. Or, you know, we could have had pirates. But, you know, again, they actually addressed that in the interview, and apparently Tanabe was like, we want to give the players something different instead of pirates. And I'm like, I get that, but narratively it makes no sense, because there could have been pirates, because there was a boatload of them invading the planet. There could have been some stragglers.
And some of them could have been trapped in the warp field.
Right. And again, Silex could have worked with Weevil, because Weevil's a space pirate. And Weevil had a bike!
And they both had common history with Samus.
Exactly! Enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Or it's like, imagine like you had to fight off other pirate cyclists or arrow pirates out in the field, or it's like, maybe take out Soul Valley, Fury Green is the hub, all the satellite places could have their own driving segments, and it's like, yeah, it's like, fend off pirates. Or it's like, imagine if Icebelt had like, you know, some more frozen lakes and we're going, oh shit, the pirates are actually having boats. Let's knock the pirates off their boat. Or it's like, a pirate ship? Unless they're thinking, oh no, we don't want it to be like Breath of the Wild where it's like, where you have to sack a pirate outpost every now and then. I'm like,
Right.
oh please, it's like,
come on.
That
would have added more depth to the desert. Or better yet, if you don't want open world, it's like I want it. Like, you know, that's kind of the problem with Tanabe. He wanted both. He wanted to take two.
And it's like, if you really wanted open world, you should have asked Monolith Soft when their obligations with Mario Kart World were done. If you didn't, that's on you.
Well, again, you have to understand too that this was like almost a 10-year like dev cycle. So back then, it was in development when Breath of the Wild just started. So, and then they should have just, you know, when they realized, okay, this isn't working, like maybe we should just not do this. But it's too much of a setback. We need to go on with it. It's like, oh my goodness.
They could have just copied Prime 2's format, and I would have been none the worse for it.
Right. Honestly, that they should have done that, and I would have been, again, like you said, I would have been all for it, and I wouldn't care, because it's like, okay, because the map design in Prime 2 worked very well.
Yeah, because I was like thinking, yeah, it's like, do it like Prime 2 or Star Fox Adventures, and it's like, there you are. That's your format.
And also, apparently, this planet isn't just in some separate solar system, it's in an entirely different dimension. Yeah.
I'm not surprised at that when I was looking at some of the later star chart discussions.
Yeah. Forgot to mention that, but yeah. But they don't really say that. I mean, it's kind of implied because, oh, we're basically nowhere, but it's like, no, you could just be in some far-off solar system, but no, you're in a totally different dimension entirely.
Well, I can't just walk up there and try to activate a switch, so... Alright, emergency powered charge up time. Oh,
Seeing comments online saying, I want to try playing an open world Metroid, and I'm like, no. When I first read those comments, I was like, no, that's dumb. Like, don't give them ideas. But anyway, however, Metroid's core concept of acquiring new abilities to expand the explorable space contradicts the go anywhere you want from the start. Even so, I wondered, was there a way to meet these demands, if only in the limited area? I thought that being able to exhilaratingly ride a bike through that area could add some variety to the pacing of Metroid's gameplay, which is usually all about claustrophobia and tension. However, when I later saw Link riding a bike in Breath of the Wild's DLC, my reaction was, no, now people will think I stole that idea.
Or hell, it's like, if you were gonna do something like that, it's like, it's why I mentioned Star Fox Adventures. You know, it's like, okay, how about you fly your gunship and like in like high orbit of the planet, or it's like between chunks of the, or between like areas of the planet, where it's like, okay, let's just do a couple of rail shooter bits and just knock off the pirates.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the one thing I really should have demonstrated with Starlink, and I don't think I'm at that point of the story yet, is yeah, you can, you know, arrest pirates and you can toss them in lockup. I mean, granted, that's not really what Metroid's really about, but it's like, it was the reason why it's like when I heard, oh God, when I heard the term open world, I'm going, I hope to God you've actually learned something, but it's like, no, they don't. It's like, and now you know why I picked Starlink and Xenoblade as my bonus coverage games, because I'm going, it's like, if you're gonna do it right, and at least these games did it right in one way or another.
Oh, also, oh my goodness. Soul Valley, the area where you can ride the bike, was conceived with freedom of movement as the top priority, so I made it a wide open space without any roads or obstacles. It was essential that this area made you feel that, while driving, if something caught your eye, you could focus solely on driving towards it. If multiple objectives come into view, you end up distracted from your initial objective, and you lose the excitement of gradually getting closer to your destination. To achieve that kind of experience, Retro Studios' Soul Valley team made brilliant use of the terrain's relief to ensure that you generally only have one obstacle at a time in your field of vision. Minus all the crystals that distract you anyway.
That shit works if you're playing something like Half-Life 2 with linear driving segments.
Exactly.
Not an open driver.
It made Soul Valley feel much larger than it actually is. I hope players can enjoy the feeling of blasting across this desolate land on field.
You've just essentially made a shittier Hyrule field. I'm sorry.
Yep. Exactly.
It's like, you know what, at some point I might just be tempted to say, you know what, fuck it. I want to play Twilight Princess right now. I got the rope right here.
Exactly. And you know, the fact that there's no roads, no tracks you can go on, it's like, okay, like you wasted your bike idea. You did nothing with it.
It's like, hell, even Saints Row had a digital Tron-like bike course, or at least when you were doing like the Blazing Trails ATV courses, at least there were dedicated cyclist challenges for that. It's like, And you couldn't be bothered to make more of those for this?
Oh my goodness. Now about this game setting, Planet Viros is comprised of a variety of environments. Can you tell us about the creation process for each of these zones? And this was Bill, totally different guy, not Tanabe. Okay. These zones have one central theme, which is to tell the story of the Lemorn's great tragedy through their environment, which, you know, that's fine. These places were inhabited by the Lemorn in different ways and for different reasons. And these reasons are often connected to what the player needs to achieve in-game. By experiencing firsthand the function of each zone and thoroughly scanning their surroundings, the player can gain a deeper understanding. Yeah, which is what you should do anyway in a Prime game. What thing could happen here? What about it could leave a memorable impression on the player? We took familiar elements from our Earth and placed them on natural environments to make them unique. A factory in the middle of a thunderstorm, a laboratory atop a glacier, an artillery in the depths of a volcano. The color scheme of each zone, down to how clear the sky, was intentionally designed to be memorable and match the emotions felt by the player. One area might evoke a pressing darkness, while a brighter sense of freedom. Each zone also serves a purpose, gameplay, which is kind of funny that they bring that up, because literally most of these areas are get the power back on.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts off being dark, and then it's, yeah. So we've already established that the Lemorn were the Grievers already, so there's no spoilers here. The Lemorn race's culture and history, but also their demise, were some of the most impactful aspects of this game's story. How did you come up with their appearance and their lore? We put a lot of thought into the Lemorn's design. The Lemorn were a peaceful, refined, cultured, and very spiritual people. Their religiousness were an essential theme of the world building and is linked to many events happening throughout their history. While the priests were the primary users of psychic energy, all Lemorn had the potential to manipulate it. All these elements were incorporated into Lemorn's visual design, from the aquatic creature elements, the robes worn by the priest, the wavy arms suitable for handling psychic energy, the hidden mouth suggesting telepathic communication, which is kind of crazy because they look like Metroid Prime.
Yeah, and also it's like, if you're going to say they look like aquatic people, why not have like features that made it look like a previously aquatic map? Like maybe make it more like a dry riverbed sort of feel or something like that.
Yeah.
Or
and it's just like, okay, like, and if this is supposed to be like time travel or whatever, then like, oh my goodness, this could have been like the origin of like Metroid Prime itself, since technically Metroid Prime is not a Metroid. Not really. It just looks like one. Once we decided to set the story in another dimension, and also that Samus would acquire psychic abilities there, the idea that Viros' inhabitants built their civilization around these psychic abilities came naturally. However, since the idea for the bike came first, we also settled on them once being a mechanical civilization, and that Viola was invented during that time. After that, I wanted to give Samus an emblematic enemy other than the pirates to fight, and while imagining what they could be, I was struck with the idea the cause of the Lemorn's demise, the great tragedy, could then be transforming into Grievers. At the same time, I realized that green showers could be used to increase the difficulty level of the enemies in Soul Valley, and that was one of the deciding factors in establishing this backstory. This was Tanabe, by the way. The other one was Bill. Chatoya and the 12 other Lemorn, carrying the miniature teleporters to return home, were sent to every planet across multiple universes in search of the chosen one of the prophecy. So yeah, they went to multiple universes, and these teleporters were sent to every planet, basically. Which is why one is on just happens to be on Tanamar. This does mean, however, that there are still 11 teleporters in existence. It would be hard to create individual stories for all of them, but I think that leaves the door open for exploring a few of them in the future. So yeah, these teleporters are going to be a recurring theme if the story goes forward. My problem, and unfortunately this is why I think Prime 5 is probably going to be terrible, is because since Tanabe retired and someone else is picking up the slack, I feel like there's going to be conflicting writing, just like and I think basically it's going to turn into the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Or it's like at some point you're going to realize, I have to frickin' Last Jedi this, don't I?
Yeah. Or, instead of having to do it, it's just like, okay, well, this happened. Now I got to somehow come up with, I need to somehow work under someone else's vision rather than create my own vision, So that could lead to writing complications as well, so...
Or it's like at some point, it's like, oh great, it's like there's 11 other teleporter keys out there, and it's like, great, now we gotta go to like, maybe 11 different worlds, and just find them. I'm like, you might as well just do a fucking dungeon crawler at that rate. I hate to say it.
A people struck in tragedy, the history of the Lemorn. The Lemorn race of Viros went through the primitive ancient era, the machine era, which gave birth to Viola and the Cybots, and finally entered the psychic era to grant every Lemorn the psychic abilities that previously only a select few possessed, which was established in the game's scans. Psychic crystals were surgically embedded into their bodies, however the Lemorn who underwent the surgery mutated into the frenzied grievers. So, again, the Lemorn did it to themselves. In their quest for... they did it to themselves. We already knew that they did it to themselves, but the fact that they did surgical procedures, which were unnatural, it's like, oh my goodness, it's worse than we thought. Do you guys mind if I talk about Silex?
Well, I'm the one who's... Well, you've beaten Prime Hunters. I've played through a big chunk of it, but I kind of fell apart because I'm going...
No, but I mean regarding this game, not Hunters.
Or Fed Force.
Yeah. Or Fed Force.
He's like, I'm just here.
Pretty much. Okay, this was Tanabe. During the development of Metroid Prime Hunters over at NST, the game designer came up with concepts for all the game's hunters. Again, this was talking about Metroid Prime Hunters, so... Held a grudge. Silex's concept was that he held a grudge against Samus and the Galactic Federation. At the time, in an effort to expand the Metroid Prime universe, I was thinking about potential spin-off titles I'd like to create. Again, this is Tanabe speaking. So even if he might already have had some ideas in mind, I asked him not to establish any concrete backstory. And while I was laying the groundwork with the 100% endings of Metroid Prime 3 and Metroid Prime Federation Force, I would think to myself, I'd really like to make a game centered around Samus and Silex someday. It would be a really long time until the occasion presented itself, and given my age, I figured that this new Prime title would probably be my last chance to make that game a reality, so I conceived this game as the first chapter in the Silex saga. I wrote Silex to be an unscrupulous, vindictive, almost demonic kind of character, and from this game onward, Samus will also be aware of him as an enemy that she cannot avoid facing and must defeat. Consequently, the score between Silex and Samus has yet to be settled. However, the game took longer to finish than expected, and it's been decided that I will not be involved in the production of the series moving forward. Therefore, while there are no plans for a sequel, I hope that Miss Tabata and Retro Studios can one day bring the story to a close. Hence my fears with this being the sequel trilogy of Star Wars, basically.
And it's like, at some point, it's like, you would think they would bury the hatchet at least one point, because they're like, yeah, the 6 of us got completely duped. So, regrettably, I do owe you 1, but I don't know when that's going to be.
Right. Please tell us about your method and the aspects you paid attention to in writing the scanning text and logbook entries. First of all, since this is written in the context of the computer's analysis, I have to choose my words so they won't convey any emotion and rather sound like the result of a logical and technical assessment. Yeah, of course. Moreover, since players don't feel like reading if there's too much text, I generally keep the descriptions to 3 lines displayed at once. Or for longer descriptions, I try as much as possible to make it so you only need to advance the text once. Particularly for text that includes hints on how to progress through the game, I made sure to present all information the player needs within that length with easy-to-remember keywords. What are you talking about? Where was the Denzium? Where was the Bendesium? Where was the Cordite? You did not do that at all.
Yeah, because I'm going, it's like, okay, it's like, oh, requires high explosives. What's the first thing I think of when you say high explosives? Power bombs. It's like, you want to know why? Prime 2. They didn't tell you outright that those gates were made out of Denzium. They just told you, you need high explosives, and guess what? Super missiles weren't going to do the trick. And then again, it's like...
You only did it once in this game, actually, and that was only with the power bomb container before the, that one boss that you fight in the desert.
Yoshi, when you said you ought to do, you might as well just do a dungeon crawl. I was thinking you could play Phantasy Star again, right?
I don't want to do Phantasy Star 1 again because that's a little bit too fresh in my mind.
Right. Fun looking game though.
Eventually, I do want to do Phantasy Star 2 because 2 has arguably one of the greatest and darkest stories and one of the most fucked up stories in an 80s and 90s RPG, which is pretty prescient to our little goings on today. But the problem is, though, 2 is very, very, very grindy. And I simply do not have the time for that. Because I'm going, I do not want to be farming 30 minutes just to buy one weapon for one of my crew members when I have 4 crew members to work with. And, you know, also fun grinding to, you know, be sure to buy enough healing items so everyone can get down a dungeon and go back up. There's no... Right. Some of the dungeons don't have easy exits. You have to fight your way back. I'm going... Yeah, there were a pair of quality of life hacks for 2. One of them was on the Steam Workshop, and the other one I need to read notes on, and I have to ask someone who's actually played Phantasy Star 2 what are his opinions on these. And also, they also have like pretty good dialogue tweaks, especially for relating to the 1st and 4th installments, or at least maintaining consistency with the 4th installment. Do not ask me to play Phantasy Star 3. I simply do not have the patience for it unless someone implements a fast walking hack for it, or someone overhauls the game where traveling quicker is a bit of a more viable option. Someone did do a little quality of life hack for 3, I believe, but there were a little bit too many fundamental differences where I'm going, yeah, not giving the main protagonist a firearm is a choice. It's like, I understand if you're going to do it such that, you know, you want to give him like a heavy sword where you can hit one enemy, or like a long sword or a wide sword where you can hit everyone in a row or hit everyone like vertical, but it's like taking out a wide area weapon like that entirely is something I'm going, yeah, I could do 4 as is, but unfortunately, I can do 4 as is, but I would really rather prefer doing 2 first. But yeah, with 2, I kind of would have to pick one of those QOL patches, because yeah, 2 is a massive time sink because it is a very horrific grind fest sometimes. Whereas like 4 is perfectly balanced, but yeah, I really do not want to play 4 without doing 2. And 2 has some pretty cruel plot twists in it.
Anyway.
You played any of those games, Prox?
No, I haven't.
I know what Yoshi means. I think I started, it's either 1 or 2.
You did 2.
I got like 30 minutes into it. I was like, this is hard. But then I remembered, oh, Yoshi said I should get a patch. I never went back to it.
Yeah, one thing I will say regarding the spider ball is I really like the tether nodes. That was a nice expansion to the spider ball, in my opinion.
Yeah, Mario Galaxy style slingshots.
Mm-hmm. It's just a shame that they didn't really expand upon it further. Like, you only have a few of them. But, yeah.
And that's why I like Prime 2 a lot, because sometimes, you know, all the additions to all the abilities felt a little bit organic.
Exactly. Okay, I wasn't originally supposed to be the one writing the scan text. This is Tanabe. Until
What?
now, all the in-game text had been written by people from Retro Studios, but they no longer work there. Yeah, so it's, you know, it's like we thought. It's the old staff isn't there anymore. Whatever. You know, I understand that. So for this game, we hired a professional writer. However, being a professional, they prioritized good writing over smart writing. And that didn't quite fit with what I was looking for gameplay-wise.
Oh. Wow!
Yeah. It was also hard to get them to fully understand the game's specifications, and since it would have been impossible to meet the deadlines as is, I decided to take over the writing myself. To be honest, though, I was so swamped with work that I ended up making some mistakes in the fine-tuning stages. It was fun, but I shouldn't have taken that on.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe you should have kept the professional. They're professional for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, tell them, you know, you're writing a Metroid Prime game. It's like, they'll probably write something up on their own.
Yeah. On the other hand, I left the Galactic Federation Troopers dialogue to actual writers, as I can't understand some of the nuances of the English language. For the Japanese version, however, rather than simply translating the lines, I asked game designer Taro Kudo to write them in a way that would sound more natural and fit the game and characters. And from what I've heard, there's not really much difference. It's just kind of bland dialogue, so that didn't really help in the long run.
I'm just gonna clean out Ice Belt, and then we'll be on our merry way, and then I'm gonna go save and quit.
Yeah. This is just talking about the music, which, by the way, the music was great.
Except for Soul Valley.
Yeah, well, Soul Valley doesn't have music, it's ambiance, but yeah, you have like, oh, you can listen to the music by scanning the amiibo, and it's just like, eh. Okay, so this is basically like the control options, whatever, and the difficulty. While there are still opportunities to backtrack and explore when you first visit an area, the game structure is definitely not as intricately woven as the original Metroid Prime. But if the player returns to these zones later in the game, they can have new experiences and make small discoveries. Maybe like one new zone, but not enough. This is meant to reward players with a lot of curiosity. Yeah, you didn't do that. Not really.
No. It's like all you've done was just woven a bunch of linear set pieces together and try to call it a Metroid game when clearly it's not. Because you look at other Metroid Prime maps. Okay, I'm not really going to count 3 as much, but you know, it's like the logic applies to 1 and 2, where it's like there's a sense of circularity. There's a sense of circulation in the map.
Right, exactly. And again, there's a lot of areas that are open to you now because you have items that you can access.
Yeah, circulation and iteration.
It keeps you wanting to go back to these areas and explore more, but no, they just gave you like one area and that's it for each area.
That you approach in a linear fashion.
Mm-hmm. This is Tanabe's last game. Oof. What a way to go out.
This is your legacy.
Okay, so this one was like, what was Silex exactly up to after arriving on Planet Veros? Evan, do you mind if I say anything about this one?
Okay.
Because this is talking about the ending of the game.
No, I'm never gonna play it. I
Okay.
mean, it's a good game. I mean, it looks fun. I don't have a Switch, and I'm not getting a Switch anytime soon. Go ahead.
Okay. Silex was severely injured following the teleportation. By chance, he was sent to the pinnacle of Chrono Tower. He slipped into one of the healing pods located there and linked with Chrono Tower. That allowed him to obtain information from the Lemorn and learn that to escape Viros, he would need to use the Master Teleporter and the 5 Master Keys required to activate the teleporter. Using the Silex Metroids that were transported alongside him, he then tried to control the minds of the Key Guardians and obtain the keys. However, the Key Guardians' willpower far exceeded the Silex Metroid mind-controlling ability, leading to the fused creatures to lose their minds and become enraged and hostile. Silex's recovery was a slow one, and he was essentially unconscious during this time. However, in his awake moments, he would send the Cybots against Samus in an attempt to steal the keys she had obtained. Upon awakening, Silex's mind briefly linked with Samus, which allowed her to see his memories in the form of flashbacks. Please tell us about the teammates from the Galactic Federation Army. What led to the creation of these characters and the cooperating with teammates plot, which is rather unusual for the series? Tanabe. I actually don't play that many video games. I instead watch a lot of films. I majored in film production in college. Therefore, when designing a game, I rarely analyze or study other games. And rather than thinking solely about the game systems, I place the emphasis on creating as many wow moments as I can. Defining the theme, I walk through the game, all from the angle of how can I create emotional ups and downs for the player. In fact, this entire game was designed starting from said theme.
You should have just written for Metal Gear or an RPG if you wanted to do that.
Oh, wow.
With Metroid Prime 4 and beyond, I wanted to try and make a game where at the very end, where pressing the A button usually means finishing it, the player would instead hesitate and feel conflicted. So, given the ending of the game, like Yoshi, you know what I'm talking about, it's kind of weird because it kind of displayed a choice, like should you do this or should you not? But you get punished if you don't. So it's like...
And by doing so, you have to replay the whole final boss fight. And I'm like, I am not doing this on hard mode.
Oh, exactly. So, that was apparently done on purpose. It's like, wow. It's like, actually, I'd already did this once in The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, but for this game, I really wanted to leave the player confused, going, what? This is how it ends? As the credits roll. And leave a long-lasting memory. I'm expecting some negative reactions, but I've always found films that leave you with a lingering feeling of your heart more memorable than feelings with a happy end. So I challenged myself to do that in the game. But the problem is, you didn't give us anything.
Or it's like, you look at the ending of Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Like, that is how you end a game. I mean, granted, it's like, it hasn't been addressed yet, but it's like...
I mean, for crying out loud, the other Metroid Prime game has a post-credit thing that kind of points to the next game, but for here it's just like, okay, yeah, Samus just did that, and now it ends, and there's nothing else. So I conceived the final scene first and designed... Oh my goodness. He started from the end and went to the...
You want to save that for when we get to the ending in about 3 weeks?
Sure.
Yeah, keep that conversation saved and tabbed. Yeah, so, okay, next episode we'll do the Great Minds, and then after that will be, you know, item wrap-up, and then we'll do the ending in 3 weeks. I know it's gonna be a long timetable, but, yeah, I kind of already determined the structure based on how things were gonna go.
Right. So you're done now, I'm guessing? I mean, you still have some items you gotta do, but yeah.
Yeah, because I know, like, after Great Minds progression, I still need to clean out Fury Green, Bolt Forge, and Flare Pool as much as I'm loath to admit it. And I have to do the second pass through the mines.
Right. Yeah, I'll save that information for later. We can discuss it in maybe the next stream. 'Cause I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, no, because you're gonna have to go through the whole mine nonsense, and then you gotta deal with
Cleaning everything out.
a sandworm.
Yeah, and finding all the mech parts. I'll do all the item cleanup while we're hunting for the mech parts.
Don't forget, you gotta get more crystals, because that's actually, if you don't get them, that actually bars you from finishing the game. Which is annoying, because we didn't like the fetch quests in the other games, but they made this one easily the most annoying of them all.
Yeah, it's like, if it was just find a bunch of mech parts, I'm like, okay, I can deal with that being like an entire second act hunt. It's like,
right.
we've done this with Prime 2. I can live with that.
And at least in the first game, you could collect artifacts during the original game. Like, you know, but with the mech parts, you gotta kind of do it toward the end of the game. And to make matters worse, you have all these crystals spread all over the place. And you can't even get them all, or at least a good chunk of them.
Until the Green Rain passes. Twice.
Even then, you can't get enough of them. So you're basically deciding... So for a desert that's supposed to be acting as like a glorified, like, loading screen, like, they basically make it so, like, oh, well, you have to explore this area. It's not necessarily that you want to, it's like, okay, you kind of have to because of all these crystals.
What'd you guys think of the Han Solo movie? Not as bad as some of them.
Should have been a series. It's like, you already had the template with the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Copy that.
They ruined Lando's character and that annoying droid, which eventually becomes the Millennium Falcon itself. It kind of killed the movie for me. They basically made Lando from being like a really charming person to, oh yeah, he's pansexual. It's like, what?
Yep.
Other items I'm missing. Sorry, I just need to zoom out and check. Nope. I think I just need to solve that last puzzle and I am done with the ice belt. Cool.
I was joking with Matt one time a while back about who the last enemy could be on I guess this was before the third sequel came out. And I said I thought it might be Lando.
No, honestly, this whole, like, the narrative direction of this game makes a lot more sense now. Like, I'm not gonna go into too much of what was happening, but what I will say is, like, the fact that Tanabe started with the ending of the game and then built the whole game around the ending instead of having the story lead up to the ending, it's like, that is the most backwards way to write a story that I've ever seen.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was one of those boost ramps, right? I didn't angle it right.
But actually, I think you do have to boost it.
I didn't angle it right. And I let go of ZL.
Oh my goodness. Forgot how to boost.
That's more like it. Okay, we've cleared the ice belt out. Alright, I'm just gonna go back to the Soul Valley save station, and then we'll just tackle the Great Mines next. Unless I really feel like I need to grab another energy tank or the like, or see if I can find one of the... Oh, here was the scanner. Here was the scanner thing I missed. It was down here.
Yep.
Okay. I got all the research done. No, wait, I'm with the science team. Got the lore, I got all the mechs. Alright, all I'm missing is just a bunch of rather Viros things. I'm going, oh god, I hope I didn't miss out on some of the little early flyers from earlier, because I'm gonna be pissed. I mean, I do have 100% file, but I'm like, do I really want to do the final boss on hard?
You don't really have to. I mean, you can just access the final.
I can just view the cutscenes for that.
Yeah, just do that. There is actually a fast way to take out the final boss's first form a lot quicker. And I'm not talking about the electric shock one. It's actually a lot simpler than that.
The one thing I really haven't practiced is going, I wonder if I can PB, I'm not going to get into that. We'll talk about that when we get there.
Right.
Now let's just head for this save station at Soul Valley first. I mean, I could cash in the crystals that I do have right now, but do I really need fast control beam?
Yeah. Also, you probably were going to want the crystal finder as well. If you have enough for that.
I'm at, what's my gauge at right now? I'm just at 50%, so...
Okay, yeah, you're just going to get the fast controlling. Actually, you're a little more than 50%.
I'm at like 55.
55, 60, probably.
Or, you know what, while I'm still here, maybe I don't want to call it just quits like right now, but... Door, open up, please! Let me get Thunder Beam +2.
Yeah, might as well. And you'll get more crystals in those shrines anyway, so yeah. You actually get a massive bulk of them in those shrines.
Yeah, and that's how I got Psycho Beam +1. I tried to gather enough crystals and do some of those shrines earlier where I'm going, yeah, let's just get the green crystals because I really need the Psycho Beam upgrade.
Oh, you can boost a ball into those things and they break. It's also really funny because if you go into those shrines, it really doesn't look like there's much in there, but it's actually the bulk. Meanwhile, if you go in the desert, it looks like there's a boatload, but they're actually not that much. It's like, I don't know, it's backwards.
And again, yeah, tell me when you start Mass Effect 1. Because, yeah, you're going to find out a couple of things where I'm going, yeah, this is why I brought up that game whenever we were playing this. Although, granted, the difference was you were in a six-wheeled tank with a 150mm cannon.
What's great about being a guy who only played like Nintendo consoles as a kid, it's like if I were to get any other consoles, it means I can play all these older games from scratch. And I kind of have the privilege to have like a first time experience with them.
I sent them the mine's coordinates. They should be on
Well, all this new slop starts coming out, and it's like, I can appreciate what games were like back in the day. I find it funny that Nintendo only had a direct for Tomodachi Life. Makes me wonder what they have in the works this year. Given the Switch 2 library is very lackluster.
First party offerings.
Yeah. I would have to say my favorite Switch 2 title has to be Donkey Kong Bonanza. That's actually a really good game. Mario Kart World is... well, that game kind of disappointed me in a lot of ways. It has gotten better with some of the updates, but even so, the game kind of already felt stale for me. So I'm just like... mainly the intermissions and whatnot. You have the grapple beam, you could probably get that next part in those items there.
Yeah, the thing is though, I don't have the tags because I haven't talked to Rieger yet.
That's true, yeah, I keep forgetting that.
So I'm trying to figure out where his current fireplace is.
Well, his first one should be by Flare Pool. That seems to be the most consistent starting point. Unless it actually is randomized. I mean, I know it is later on, but I don't think the first encounter is. That's one of the problems I have with some of these crystals. Like, you go up this massive slope, and then you end up overshooting them, and then you need to go back and break them.
That's why I would rather say it's like, can we just cut this shit out and just have like one giant chunk? Rather than these loose pieces where I'm going, and I have to go back to the scanner, I'm going, I missed this one stupid little crystal.
Right, exactly. Also, I find it really funny that Takabi plays a harmonica. It reminds me way too much of that one bird character in Breath of the Wild. Oh, I thought he would be here. He usually is at the beginning. Unless you... Wait, do you need to talk to him first in the camp?
I already did that.
Yeah, because I remember it's scripted to where you have to talk to him or somebody else. Or you talk to the robot. I think you go back to the robot first. And then you go back out. Honestly, it's so backwards. I don't like all these scripted things because it's just like, okay, we're trying to create the illusion. Like, oh yeah, you can explore and you can do things in whatever sequence. But then it's just like, okay, well...
There's no sense of open authority.
You gotta go through all these loading screens just to talk to somebody. And then you can explore. It's like just have them out here, like... Enough with the fluff, you know?
Hello, who are you guys? Oh, just a crawler, but with sand that's everywhere and coarse.
I see sand crawlers, but where the Jawas? Small to be sand crawlers.
Now, Matt
It took
was...
a while to figure out what that was, but I'm like, oh, it's the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah, Matt wanted me to try out
the
episode
Jawa
1
thing.
Racer, and that was the end result.
I was like, where's the Jawa thing? Boom, 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 boom.
Next thing you know, I'm gonna mistake the Jawa theme for the Ewoks theme.
Oh my goodness, no. You remember Yub Yub?
Okay, that one,
Like,
yeah, but...
It's just a shame that when George Lucas did his little remaster, he got rid of Yub Yub.
Oh! Yeah, that. And how Family Guy kind of made fun of the entire scene where they changed who Anakin was. It's like, yeah, Peter, you are a fat, stinking drug. It's like, yes, and you really he's telling the truth. It's like, challenge him, you must. And I'm Hayden Christensen.
Challenge him, your best. You gotta look upward.
Gamers don't look up. I thought I learned this lesson in Half-Life and Portal. No, seriously, that was said word for word in Valve's developer commentary.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Gamers never look up, and that's why DFAs frequently happen in multiplayer.
Yeah, there was a lot of contention around DFAs back in the day, back in the League days. Some people didn't like it at all. Some people would just say, learn to dodge.
No, and which is what you do, you know? But here's the thing. If you're... DFAs are kind of cheap in the sense where, like, if you're dealing with multiple mechs at once and you're distracted, in a 1v1 it's a lot easier to expect one of them, because, like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm alone, I hear jets, okay, I can look up. But if I'm dealing with so many mechs at once and there's no radar, then it's like, okay, well... I just get stomped on and that's it, I die. I remember I did that frequently against a lot of people when there was a lot of people playing. It's like, yeah. Easy targets. I remember that day when Archon was talking all kinds of crap. And then I landed on him. That was really funny. It's just like he was doing some of his, like, yeah, he obviously he wasn't serious, but like he was just doing a bunch of like trash talking and whatnot, and then I landed on his face.
Good.
I think Cyril did the same thing, and then Clutch. Oh my goodness, Clutch was hilarious because like,
What happened to him? I haven't seen him around for...
he would jeer frequently, like, you know, he would really like talk to you. The amount of times I've stomped on his face, it's so comical. And then every time he does it, he's like, okay, I'm going after you next. I stop on his face again.
Man, the server
Don't
now is
start
mainly
messing with
bots
the guy.
coming on.
Oh, and maybe next time you do a DFA video compilation, you should just play a Mario Brothers theme.
I'll quit YouTube. So,
The question
yeah,
is, though,
no.
which one, though? It's like, I would probably say maybe the second one, but that involves... But, oof.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing it anyway, because I pretty much do it right now. So, yeah.
Oh, right, I have to scan these clowns as well.
You can scan while on the,
Bike, yeah.
yeah.
You know, it'd be cool if a bunch of us went over and played League of Legends.
I'm not a huge fan of League.
I'm not the kind of person who would go through League. It's like, no joke, it's like during college, you know, I was playing Axiom Verge, and then someone recommended to me Winnie the Pooh's Home Run Derby, and then one of my classmates kept training me and going, it's like, why don't you play League? I'm like, do I look like I have the mentality to be a League player?
Honestly, I've never been into League, and like, it's so grindy, and the community's awful. And
I'm sorry, I was thinking, I was thinking of the wrong game. What is the Mech Warrior game?
Not online, is it?
yeah, I was about to say, I'd rather not. Honestly, if we ever met up in person, I'd much rather play 2 or 3.
Because 3 is a little bit artificially padded, because it's like their solution to going, oh, we don't want like these fights over in 7 seconds, let's double the armor of everybody. Straight up.
Not necessarily, because some of these... Actually, I'd argue that it takes longer to take out mechs in 2 than it does in 3.
Because you're fighting lag and lateral jetting, or 3-dimensional jetting.
No, honestly, mechs take a lot more hits in 2 than they do in 3. Because
I was thinking...
Because you can take out a leg in 3, and honestly, if you have a lot of firepower, you can take out mechs in like 2 hits.
I was
Plus,
thinking
with
of
the auto
Living
cannon.
Legends, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, you mean the
Oh,
other
yeah.
Crytek-inspired mech game.
Right. I played it a little bit. It's kind of fun. You can be elementals. You can be outside of your mech.
Vehicular combat, as in 3.
Kitty Island Adventures. Yeah, no, seriously, League is terrible.
Or, what was that other PvP game that I usually play? It's like one that I usually play because of, oh, controller's out of charge. Other than back. On with the irony of Pro controllers having that much battery, but the thing was I didn't use it for quite a while.
Are you guys pretty competitive at Mario Kart? Pretty good.
Depends on the iteration of Mario Kart. I blow chunks at 64, but it's like Wii, DS, and 8, I can hold my own, but if you ask me to do 64 or Double Dash, 64 I'm completely out of my depth. Double Dash I have not touched in God knows how many years, at least a dozen.
It's funny, I was out at the arcade with my friend one time. It was a Dave & Buster's, actually. And we were playing Mario Kart. And I kind of felt sorry for him after this because I got behind him and shot, like knocked him down. What, when you shoot the bananas or whatever, the power-ups.
That is Mario Kart for you. Sometimes you just win at the last second.
Right. The look on his face, I kind of felt sorry for him.
No. It's like the ultimate look of despair in Mario Kart. If you ever see someone look someone in the eye, is like getting lightninged and then getting blue shelled, or it's like a combination of those two at the last second. Or it's like one time I was playing Mario Kart DS online, and it's like, yeah, I was about 50 yards behind the two ahead of me on N64 Chocolate Island. I shot the blue shell, and it hit him on the last turn, and then I just stole the win from right under their noses. But it sounds like the game you've played that was Mario Kart Arcade GP DX from Namco, wasn't it?
Not sure. All I know is
if it's
there was
one course,
4
one credit,
consoles.
it's DX.
Okay.
I know because I actually played the OG Mario Kart Arcade game, and that actually lets you go through an entire cup tour.
Dave & Buster's is pretty expensive, really, but there's a few good games. Have you played the Space Invaders? It's
The
like
big
an
board
updated
Space Invaders?
What?
Is it like one that's like a big video wall?
Yeah. Have you played that?
I have that one at around 1.
Okay.
But I
That's
haven't
pretty
really,
fun, isn't it?
that one, admittedly, I haven't touched as much because there are a few other games in the arcade that I want to take a whirl with. Do mod slots.
Slippy online. All systems green.
And again, Slippy's not annoying.
I'm done with this hero stuff.
But we just got started.
Can't you hear it? The Crimson Moon is calling me.
Crimson Moon? I haven't seen any moon.
That's because the outlaws keep it secret. What? They don't have secret moons where you come from?
No.
They have
You
space
sure about
stations.
that? I'm receiving a transmission from an outlaw frequency.
Welcome, one and all, to the match of the century.
The Crimson Moon's got it all. Racing, brawling, I can taste it already. What are we waiting for?
And I will say this, though. Yeah, the Crimson Moon does have simple racetrack circuits, which are actually... I mean, they're not the best racetrack circuits. I mean, yeah, compared to, like, F-Zero, later Mario Karts or the like, not as great, but a couple of cup-style courses and a few arena fights, which is nice, but, yeah... Yeah, the courses are more like pod racer style circuits. Later down the line, if I ever try to continue more of this, or at least try to bother doing more progression with this, then I'll do it, but not right now. I just wanted to do a little bit more plot progression.
Hey, welcome back. The analysis just wrapped up. Judge, tell us what we got.
Using St. Grant's artifact, we can now translate Warden encryptions, giving us access to the Legion's communication network.
That's amazing. Have we picked anything up?
We intercepted a repeating transmission, streaming the video to your onboard computer now.
My children, my believers, the Wardens have bestowed us with another gift. A storm will cover Senatus as the Prime reawakens.
No relation to Optimus.
What the heck was that?
That mask. The guys that took St. Grand, they were wearing those masks. Sage, send this to Eli. That has to be Grax. No. No way. You don't know what you're saying.
Grax or otherwise, this video confirms it. This fellow is controlling the Legion. And he just released another on Senatus.
Then we need to head there immediately.
I'm on my way.
Huh. I do have a colleague on Sonatus. Perhaps she's seen something.
Put her through.
Now, where did I put her code? Ah, there we are. Dr. Wilder, are you there? Fern, pick up.
Carl? Look, I'm evacuating the workshop. I'll have to call you later.
Then you've seen the Prime. Fascinating, isn't it?
No, I mean, yes, but Carl, the Prime, it's planting extractors. The Warden harvest is starting again.
No. It can't be.
I know, it sounds insane, but I know what I saw. The Legion, they'll overrun all of Sonatus.
The whole planet. Impossible.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
Hold on, we're coming to help.
You know, as much as I want to do some other things on another planet, I did get as much Alliance benefit as possible down here on Haven. Well, at least regular Alliance. I still have to do, like, Wonders of the World and all that other fun stuff, and Prospector Ruins.
Warning. Incoming outlaw hyperspace trap.
Understandable.
How do you guys feel about spinach on a pizza?
About what?
Spinach as a topping on a pizza?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I've had that. It's actually really good.
I usually do it with like chicken and tomatoes.
I was with you up until you said tomatoes, because honestly, there's already red sauce on the pizza. You don't need tomatoes, in my opinion.
On a white sauce pizza.
Okay, now you lost me on the white sauce.
What, did you want pink sauce on it?
Oh no! Oh, definitely not.
I don't know. It was moving so fast.
I'm sure there's some weird restaurant that does that though. Or blue sauce. Remember the blue sauce?
I remember the blue milk.
Wait.
No, but they're the same person that made the pink sauce also made a blue sauce, and it's worse.
Will do. And don't worry, I won't rest until this thing is good and gone.
Carl, what's happening? Who are these people?
Hashtag Starlink, yo.
They're trustworthy. I'll explain later. For now, what can they do to help?
Oh, well, when the Prime Legion plants extractors, my theory is they maintain a connection.
But nah,
so if
for
you
me,
can
it's
sever those
gotta be
connections,
red
the
sauce.
Prime should
I don't even
react,
like
giving you
barbecue
its
sauce on
location.
pizza.
I cannot do barbecue on pizza. It's either red or white, and I'm very picky about what goes on top of either.
I can stomach white sauce if there's like ranch, if there's like chopped garlic in there. But aside from that, nah, just give me good old marinara.
Yeah, usually I do grilled chicken and variety on white. Or grilled chicken and vegetables on white. That's kind of my go-to for white pizzas. For red, it's like, you know, just your standard combinations or the like.
Honestly, I'll just have, if I want grilled chicken, I'll put it on red sauce pizza, and then I'll probably just put like...
The storm is
I have put spinach and chicken
The extractor
mixed in with like
electrical
chopped
pollution.
garlic and
Your
whatnot
flight engines may not
on red
work.
sauce pizza, and it's
That's
so
okay.
good.
I can still do this.
But generally, I just have mini pepperoni.
That's a fog lily. Weird to see the way it floats.
Because at least
over
with
the
mini
mist.
pepperoni, there's a crunch to
Apparently,
it.
nobody really understands how they do that.
What's your guys' favorite kind of crust? Like, do you like thin crust? Deep dip?
Definitely
Deep dish
classic, though I do like deep dish if it's done right. Stuffed can be good as long as the cheese doesn't taste oily or processed. But yeah, I like everything except thin crust. And I can't understand it when people order thin crust well done, because at that point it's just a pile of ash with toppings.
Starlink database updated.
always boggled my mind. And they always love to say, like, oh yeah, I want my thin crust well done. I mean, the thin crust already takes a long time to make because you have to stretch out the dough. But then when you consider like the cows, I don't know if you fold it. But yeah, like skinny or thin crust, it's literally just a cracker. And again, if people order it well done, it's just going to be a bunch of toppings.
I'm picking up a signal, but it's faint. Wait.
It boggles my mind, and I don't understand why people order that. And it's always on a busy day that they order it too.
Like another job for Slippy.
And the oven goes through a conveyor belt system. So, in order for it to be well done, you got to put it back in, and if the oven's already backed up, guess what happens? Yeah, very annoying.
What's the most annoying thing to make, would you say? I mean, of all the dishes you
Definitely skinny has to be among the worst. Pan I can live with, but well done, I feel sorry for the people who do the oven and like take it out of the oven and try to package it. Because then they gotta somehow put it back in while other people are putting pizzas in. And to make matters worse, again, it's like there's not a lot of room. So you can't just put it in halfway, or you put it in and you need to make sure to keep checking it, except you can't because you're so busy with everything else. So oftentimes these pizzas get overcooked, or they try to put it in and then pizzas overlap and then they catch fire inside the oven. It's fun. Always fun.
Well, Earth, but close.
We have two different even if you have two different ovens too, you have like one.
Really? Oh, I'd love
Generally,
to
we would
study
designate like one oven for the sides, like wings, or like garlic twists or something like that.
You what?
Maybe later.
And the bottom half
found a
generally we
second
would do the
extractor?
pizzas.
Almost there.
But again, if we're in a huge rush, it is not intuitive at all. So it just
Partial scan complete.
literally just
Scan
becomes a
more
chainsaw
specimens to
massacre.
complete the DNA profile.
I have to say, Domino's garlic bites are pretty good. I like them because they have butter on them. They're more buttery than they are garlic.
Scan more specimens to complete
What were
the
you
DNA
saying?
profile.
I said, unfortunately, I'm just too spoiled to have Domino's.
Yeah, I can understand. It's not good pizza. I mean, it's
Partial
okay.
scan complete. Scan more specimens to complete the DNA
There's a New
profile.
York style place that I recently been visiting. It's like Piaggio's or something. I forget what it's called.
Do you remember when Domino's had the 30 minutes thing?
DNA profile complete. Fauna identified.
That was a while back. You know what I'm talking about?
A vibrosaur. It's
30 minutes or less offer?
Insectoid
Yeah.
and reptilian. Fascinating.
But what, Evan?
I was saying Domino's used to have a policy where they would get you your pizza delivered to you 30 minutes or less.
Right.
The people are having
Glad
pets.
people stopped doing that because unfortunately that's gotten so many of their workers killed.
Right. It's a really bad idea.
Time. It's like, no, like, you can't promise that, especially considering how traffic is. What if the person runs into an accident? And what if the person's far away? Like, I understand they have, like, certain jurisdictions that's involved.
Or otherwise, you need your pizza delivery driver to be freaking Spider-Man.
What's the situation situation.
Exactly.
Prime just planted another extractor.
Cool.
If you can destroy it, I think that should work. But you need to hurry. These extractors, they're doing so much damage. I don't know if Sonatus will ever recover.
Oh, of course, yeah, like I said, they have jurisdictions.
Ugh, it makes me so mad.
So the driver doesn't have to drive that far.
Ugh, Grax is
But at the
gonna
same
pay for
time,
what
it's
he's
like,
done.
you know,
Is it true? Is someone really controlling the Legion?
you don't know what the heck could happen.
Somehow this Grax character has access to
And if they
Warden
feel under
technology.
pressure, guess what
And
they're
he's
gonna
using
do?
it
They're
to
not gonna
regrow
drive
the
as
Legion?
safe.
How would he even acquire the Nova to do it?
He took our ship's core. That be enough?
Perhaps. I would need to take a look inside the Prime to know more.
So, what's St. Grand got to do with it? And Grax didn't even ask for a ransom. You know, in TV, they're always asking for a ransom, right? Oh, what if he doesn't have our phone number?
Guess we'll ask him when we find him.
That did it. The circuit's blown. Those guns are useless now.
You and Yoshi ever come out here, we gotta go to Bojangles.
I hear good things about Bojangles.
I can't speak for the chicken, but the biscuits are awesome.
Chicken's meh.
Yeah. Popeyes
I
is
was
probably
about to say, yeah, like, if anything, I would definitely just go there for the biscuits. I'd risk it for the biscuits.
Yeah, their biscuit breakfast sandwiches were pretty good. I'll give them that.
It's not too greasy.
It wasn't.
Okay, good. It's
But
not like
then
more
again, it's like-
buttery than greasy.
As Event can attest, sometimes, you know, it's like these franchise or chain restaurants can be a little bit hit or miss. Just pray you got the one
generally,
that hit.
whenever I hear biscuit sandwich, I just think dry crust, like dry buns, like dry biscuits, and greasy, like sausage patties and whatnot. So it's just like, sorry, but biscuit sandwiches generally don't sound appealing to me. But I'm taking your word for it that at least at Bojangles they do it right. So.
Well, just think of the butter is cooked into the biscuit.
Right,
So it's buttery.
which is nice. So it has like a bit of a crunch to it, and it's not, you know, dry.
Right. Popeyes are pretty dry.
Well, in general, like, you get a biscuit sandwich anywhere, it's dry. And it's not good. Like, that's why I've never liked biscuits. And no, for the British people who end up watching, I don't mean cookies. I like cookies a lot.
I think you'd become a believer if you had a good Bojangles biscuit.
I'm sure that would be the sole exception, quite frankly. Because generally, I just don't like biscuits at all because of just how dry they are.
Hack successful. Access granted.
They also have good tater tots. They call them bow
Reporting
rounds.
in. We'll keep this comms array safe.
I mean, tater tots are generally pretty
Some
good.
useful gear lying around this place.
I think the biggest things that are hit or miss are cheese curds.
Yeah.
I've had really good cheese curds, like over in Minnesota one time. I was at this burger place, I forget what it's called. But it was really good.
Big industry.
And I was like, huh, maybe I'll give cheese curds a try. But then, you know, recently they opened up a few Freddy's in California, which was kind of cool. So I was like, okay, I'll try, and I noticed they had cheese curds. So I'm like, okay, I'll try the cheese curds. Oh my goodness, it was inedible. It was the saltiest, greasiest thing ever. And it tasted like, I mean, obviously, you know, it's going to be processed to some degree, but it literally tasted processed. Like, the cheddar cheese that they used was, probably the worst cheddar mozzarella mix I've ever had in my life. The only thing that I found tolerable was the breading. Not even joking. Everything else from Freddy's is pretty good, though.
Yeah, because I think there was a Freddy's restaurant near me, and yeah, it's like, I just go for like the simplest stuff on the menu first.
Right. They have great soft serve ice cream there too.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind next time I visit.
And there's this other ice cream place called Handel's. It's I wouldn't call it a local chain. I think there's a few, and so maybe there's some up north too. I'm not 100% sure.
Starlink database updated.
Yeah, it's really good.
Got it.
You know, I've been playing this whole session as Slippy this entire time. I really should switch pilots at some point.
That's 3. Any word on the Prime?
Yes! I knew it would work. Now, let me see. Prime is... There!
You defeated
Quickly, before it
Mordor.
plants more.
I'll go so fast you won't even see me.
Oh my goodness.
What's up?
Just, you know, reading more of this interview. It's like, as you progress through the game, the bonds between the Federation troopers and Samus would deepen. I actually had more events planned to deepen those bonds, but due to time constraints, they had to be cut. This is my one true regret.
This is not the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel.
Exactly. Too much focus on that. It's just not. It's not good.
Like, you're not gonna. It's like, you're not gonna capture the magic of Final Fantasy X from 20 years ago.
Waypoint's moving.
The Prime is fast
Especially,
for its
you know,
size.
since a
You'll have to
game
hurry.
like Metroid isn't really designed for that. Like, you can have some.
Partial scan complete.
You can have some moments that, you know, kind of tug at your heartstrings, like in Prime 3 when Samus literally had to watch her fellow bounty hunters die to Dark Samus. Yeah, that was pretty emotional and heart-wrenching when you could see it, and it wasn't overstated.
To complete the DNA
But in this game, it's...
And then it's like, it presents, you know, stakes.
Exactly. Whereas, well, we'll mention that in the next part, but the next area, the mines.
Apparently, its feathers are made of a material almost like glass.
It could have been so much better.
When we get to the mines, do remind me of the words Tales of Symphonia, because I seriously need to bring that up.
These things spread like a plague. Better stop them.
Warning.
I probably won't remember that, to be
Detecting a
honest.
Legion turret in the area.
Can you...
Mayday! Mayday! My ship's non-responsive.
Also, it's such a shame because I used to like Shine Sparkers up until that article that they wrote. It's like, okay, nope, just like that. I've lost all all respect for you guys for them now. No way. Chris Stuckman aspires to direct a Metroid movie, and Brie Larson wants to be Samus. Oh.
I thought we went through this a few years ago.
This was a September 2025. That was when that article was posted by Shine Sparkers.
But Sage was able to track them to their base. Check the star map.
Fairly recent.
I'm gonna say this though, gun in my head, if you ask me who should have played her 12 years ago, you've seen Dread, right?
Yeah.
I would have picked the one who played Anderson in the role. That's just my 2 cents. And that is
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a gun in my head take, but I'm like, it's like if you've seen that film, it's like, yeah, that's why.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, like, Chris Stuckman has kind of been shilling a lot lately, so I don't really have much respect for that guy already. But then, of course, Brie Larson being Samus would just... I don't know, that would be the final nail in the coffin for me. The only thing that would make me see it is if a bunch of friends of mine wanted to see it, and I'm like, okay, fine. But I would never see it on my own, if that were the case.
What do you guys think I should have as my next upgrade? Shields for all my allies, or bonus damage to trash units? Bonus to trash. Alright. I need heavy weapons.
Goodness.
Needs. Got that instead.
Never mind. It's actually, I don't think it is, but I think Shine Sparkers is just reporting this, but I'm reading the article, and it's literally the speedrun event. It's probably run by, Games Done Quick and a bunch of other these random speedrunning event organizers.
Enemy robot.
But the speedrun event is called Icebreaker.
That's it. Look how it moves.
It's like, are you people serious?
You haven't faced anything like this since we left Lilac.
Have you ever thought of going back and trying to lower your times on Meg 2?
Well, I mean, aside from that massive marathon I did on Ghost Bear's Legacy, it's like... Yeah, I mean, I did one 100% run recently. It was Pyre Light. But that video wasn't public, so, yeah. In fact, the video, again, I didn't post it because I don't have YouTube anymore, but I do have the video.
You got the source file still?
Get in front of it.
Yes.
You've damaged it. I think it's trying to escape. We don't want to lose track of it.
You guys have TikTok accounts?
No.
Not at all.
I was joking.
It's like there's no point for me.
Media in general.
Outlaw fortifications detected.
Got rid of Instagram, got rid of a bunch of things.
Normal weaponry is ineffective agast target shield. Reflect
Instagram is useful for me to keep up with DJs, local DJs, and what shows are happening.
I don't know, I just got rid of it because I just kind of want to go back to the old times where I just viewed the internet from the surface and not really go in too deep with it.
I
not kind of get myself trapped in it. It also helps me maintain my privacy in my life, so I'd much rather, not have other people come in and just start being like, oh, what's going on? So, yeah.
You hear about Taco Bell having fried chicken?
Not a moment too soon. That was great, Slippy. Nice work.
Incredible. Carl, the Legion. They're shutting down.
What? What do you mean?
They're dormant. The Prime draws energy from each of its extractors. What if destroying the Prime left that energy with
Were you
nowhere to
asking
go?
something event? I kind of had to
This
leave
could
for
be
a
the answer
little
to
bit.
stopping the Legion once and for all. The Prime must have a Nova Core. Can you bring it to me?
Event? I guess he's not here.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
What was the question you were asking? I was in the middle of the fight and Prox stepped out.
Yeah, I realized that. I'm sorry about that. I was just saying, did you hear about Taco Bell having fried chicken now?
Oh no. It's gonna be awful.
I haven't eaten at Taco Bell for years.
Stick to tacos. Oh my goodness. Stick to what you do, you know? Don't try to do something else, you know, to appeal to a wider audience. Because it's like, people go to you for tacos. It's like if a pizza place decided to, you know, make cakes all of a sudden, you know, it doesn't work.
Great. I can't wait to study this. I just
If
need to
people
make a
want
few
chicken,
arrangements
they
and I'll
could
meet you
go
back
to
at
like
the-
Popeyes or
What do you call your ship again?
They call it
something
the
like that. Or
Does
KFC.
that mean you're coming?
Of course. Don't
I
you
used to
feel it?
like KFC as a kid.
Everything that's going on.
I did
I
too.
feel like
Just
they
the
were
beginning,
better
and
before.
you're at the
They
heart
were.
of it. Besides,
I went to
can't
one
let Carl
recently
have
and it
all
was
the
the
fun.
greasiest chicken I've ever had, and I think I got food poisoning the next day. And I was like, I'm never eating there again. Same thing with McDonald's. Though there was one McDonald's that I really enjoyed over in Arizona when I went on vacation,
and if
and
your
it
ship
actually,
needs a tune-up,
I had a
the
sausage
workshop
and
is
egg
at your
McMuffin, and
disposal.
it was actually, it
Using
actually
the natural
tasted
defenses
fresh.
of Atlas's various
It wasn't
waveforms,
super
we've
greasy at
developed
all.
some very
It was
unique
actually
mods.
delicious, and
You
I
should
was like,
take a look.
what?
Sounds good.
And it was a sausage and egg McMuffin. It wasn't an egg McMuffin. And because you know, generally the sausage patties are super, super greasy. But it wasn't in that case. It was actually very good, and I was like, "Wow, I might actually try McDonald's again." So I go back to the one, you know, closer to me. I try it, and I'm like, "Now I remember why I stopped going." It was so disgusting. The English muffins were soggy. That's how greasy it was.
No, you can't do that.
No. And then I got acid reflux after eating like a couple of bites. I'm like, nah, never eating here again.
Like there was a Taco Bell Pizza Hut near my old house.
Well, that's a hybrid. That at least makes sense. But
well, I went there. I was going to the drive-thru one time, and I was like, "Can I have a personal cheese pizza?" And they said, "Well, you know, it's gonna take us 8 minutes to make it." And I was like, "I can wait." And then I came to the window, and the woman looked so pissed off. She was like, "You ordered the pizza, right?" And I said yes, and she gave it to me. And when I got home, all the cheese had been scraped off it.
What the heck?
I mean, he was on the side. The cheese was still there. It's just, and someone told me recently that all you do with those is take them out and put them in the oven.
Thank you, friend.
You don't even have to do anything.
It's just further proof that people don't want to work to get paid anymore.
I know.
It's just like, it takes you more effort to make a taco. At least if you have pizza, it's already pre-made.
Right.
You have no excuse to be angry. Now, if you're like super busy and it's like, okay, I want like 500 sides of like twists or something like that, and I want 3 of my orders well done, then I could see it, because it's like, okay, that's ridiculous, but all right, you know, I'll do it. But you know, especially during a rush, that's insane.
Nah, this was definitely not during a rush.
No, oh yeah, there's no excuse whatsoever.
Welcome back. Been a while. Thought some.
I could have taken it back, but I didn't even care enough. I was just like,
The
whatever.
laboratory expansion
yeah.
is wrapping up. Come see the new mods
Now,
we
that's
have to offer.
extremely messed up. At least they didn't spit on it.
Yeah, well, who's to say they didn't?
I certainly hope not. That's insane. That's not only rude, but it's like, okay, come on.
Yeah, I can understand if I was a jerk, but I was just saying, you know, you told me that it's gonna take a while and I'm willing to wait. You're a Taco Bell Pizza Hut. I'm sorry you sell Pizza Hut stuff.
That was 100% on the employee, and honestly, I remember I once went to a Jack in the Box to order some breakfast jacks, and the person who was doing cashier couldn't do basic addition even on the computer, and I had to wait like 15 minutes or so just for her to like kind of like mess with the computer. She's like, I don't know how to add, and I'm like, you're how old and you don't know how to add?
Yeah.
What's worse is when they don't know how to speak English.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem, because then it's just like, okay, come on. You're working in America, learn English, please. Like,
I know. It is kind of annoying when you go to a Del Taco or something, and I don't mean to be mean. It's just, you know, one person
Del
there.
Taco. Like, if you go to a Mexican restaurant, it makes sense. It's like, okay, that's to be expected sometimes, you know?
True.
I mean, it still doesn't necessarily excuse it, but I can at least see it, you know? But yeah, a place like Del Taco, which is like a fast food place, you know? Yeah, finish what you were saying.
I was just gonna say, you know, like sometimes only one person will know English, and then you talk to them, and then they give your order just in Spanish to the other people.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, I can see things both ways on the whole immigration thing, because I think what happens a lot of times is people from other countries, we think, you know, well, why don't they just immigrate legally? But sometimes it costs a whole bunch of money to bribe people in their home country to get the immigration forms.
I get that. Still doesn't excuse it in my opinion, but I understand that. And honestly, if any country opens up their borders, then it's just going to create chaos, as what happened to us years ago. National monuments were burned down and a bunch of other things happened. And the amount of illegals that came in, that massive influx, just really messed us up big time. In fact, that's how a lot of countries fall, like especially in the Middle East. That all happened because of massive immigration policies. Like, oh, we'll just let them in and we'll just open our border, and then what happens? Their country gets taken over, and it's like, well, it's just kind of one of those things where I don't really want that to happen here. And again, you know, I have no problem with immigrants as long as they're here legally. You know, but
electrical energy nearby.
you know, we're a melting pot at the end of the day. However, that shouldn't be used as a cop-out to, like, you know, let people in, or like, oh, you need to welcome strangers because, like, it's biblical to do so. And it's like, actually, if you invite someone to someone's house, like, if you have a visitor, you would obviously expect them to follow the rules of your own house, right?
Right.
But if they come in, they start squatting and they start messing up, and then, you know, if you decide, okay, we're going to kick them out, or in this case, you know, deport them, then they cry foul, and it's like, well, you didn't respect the rules. You clearly didn't get, because a lot of these people that come in illegally, they don't care about America. They don't even like America.
But one thing I do have to say is, and I don't mean this as a general statement, but I have noticed that a lot of these immigrants are working jobs that, you know, natural-born citizens don't want to do.
I understand that. However, I think that's kind of bad that they're doing that. Like, because, like, I feel like that kind of gets rid of job opportunity for others. And, you know, like, I feel like that's kind of a blanket statement in a way, because, like, you don't know for sure. Maybe people would want to learn, or, you know, people are desperate for money. It's like, hey, like, I'd be willing to do this as long as an opportunity presents itself. But if you take jobs away from citizens and you give them to people who shouldn't be here, then
it's a mess. It's certainly a mess. As we were saying on one of our previous conversations, one thing I've noticed, this is changing something a little bit, is the Department of Labor, everything is on the computer now. Like, it's not personalized like it used to be. Like, you come in there and they just plop you at a computer, and the most they'll help you with is help you with the computer. Now, that might not seem that bad, but my dad remembers times when he would go in there and they would call businesses for him and put in a good word and everything. I mean, if you still had to, you know, fill out your resume, but those like personalized.
But again, they had connections. Yeah, you know, they would have connections, and I actually agree with you on that there should be more of that, 100%. Or there should be programs where people actually learn skills aside from, like, a few trade schools here and there. Like, I feel like stuff like that should be funded a lot more. And there should be more job opportunity, 100%.
On the other side of things, though, what's funny, I can't remember what show it was. It was like a reality-like show, but not really a bad one. And there were 20 people. They were all out of work, and they asked them what they want to do, and everyone wanted to do something creative. And it's like, guys, you just need money at this point. You might think about doing something like a normal job. Like, honestly, they all wanted to be singers and rappers and stuff. So yeah,
some people can make it, but honestly, it's the music industry, especially now with AI taking over. It's like, yeah, it's very niche. Now, if you want to go into, like, teaching music to somebody, it's like, hey, you're involved in music and you can teach other people how to play an instrument and you can make money that way. It's like, hey, that's cool, you know? That could be like a side hustle. And honestly, you know, if you want to be super famous, it's like, well, you're going to basically throw the rest of your life away, and you're...
Yeah.
Honestly, fame is just... And then, you know, they'll have you for contracts and, you know, basically sell your soul to, like, Hollywood or whatever musical industry is there. And that's why the Beatles were so depressed, even though they were super popular.
But they had no normal life anymore. If they wanted to go down to a Burger
King, they were idolized by the whole world. And as a result, they couldn't live up to the hype. And it's just like...
I feel sorry for them.
Stop attacking me, friend.
That's what happens, you know, that's the cost of fame. You get super big, super popular, and that's kind of another reason why I got rid of YouTube. Well, a number of reasons, like A, for privacy, and just so I don't have a presence, and B, just, you know, if I ever got big, it's like, my life would be, you know, all over the place for everyone to see, and it just, and I just don't want to deal with that nonsense.
I don't want to be famous now. I would like more true fans, like dedicated fans.
Even wear them on necklaces.
Right.
But like,
data in order to
you know,
this organic crystalline
I sort of like
substance.
just having my own little area, you know, of the internet
nearby.
for me and a few other people to view.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I would just prefer friend groups. I don't even join random channels anymore.
Approaching analysis.
Because I don't want to run the risk of certain things happening or running into people who want to be friends with me, and then all of a sudden, you know, they don't respect boundaries, and it's like, okay, well.
Don't stop now. Find another specimen to scan.
It's funny how every once in a while I look at various kinds of jobs.
But yeah.
What?
They're just like, you know, be careful who you meet on the internet.
Oh, okay. I thought you. I look up various jobs just to see what's in the market, and I found these. I looked up programming jobs, and there was all these jobs for training AI how to do programming. So it's like basically your job is to train your replacement.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. You hit the nail on the head. That's true. That's more true than you realize.
Very good.
And a lot of people don't understand that.
So head back and don't drop it.
Although I have a feeling a lot of people are going to go back to people. I mean, not completely. What?
Well, because as it gets more sophisticated, it'll become cheaper, and then the labor force will be, you know.
Still got the analyzer with you?
But I think in the short term, some might go back when they realize that hiring a prompt editor, you know, I don't know.
Honestly, this is how games are going to be nowadays. You know, everything's going to be writing, movies, everything's going to be AI.
And it's going to be soft, too, for a while.
Keep helping us out, and I'm sure there's more we can do for you.
I mean, they're already talking about this AI actress, and oh, she can cry on command, and she can show emotion, and I'm like, I could imagine all the actors must be really angry right now. Like all the famous ones, it's just like, okay, well, I guess we're getting replaced. And again, you know, with the whole Netflix absorbing Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be streamed now. Movie theaters are going to get hit hard.
Well, at least there's still one little ray of hope. Some consumers finally started getting wise to, you know, content cycling in and out of providers and rotating between them, where they're just saying, "Fuck it, let's go back to physical."
Well, unfortunately, you have the World Economic Forum. Like, you know, one of their slogans is "You'll own nothing and be happy." So they might not give you that option, unfortunately.
Sounds like a medieval peasant to me.
That's exactly how they view us.
Yep. And they're the lords, right?
Yeah, I'll stick with physical media if I can help it.
Yeah, I heard about the move to try to get rid of computers. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but you know, they want the computation to be done in data centers and then sent to your computer. And it's like, yeah, I don't want you guys to have all that.
Yeah, again, it just goes to like internet privacy as well.
I honestly, I've used them before, but you know those online converters, like where you can put it. Those always just sketch me out a little bit. It's like, I mean, I'm not putting anything bad
down
there.
on VPNs too, so you know you can't have a private network anymore. In a lot of cases, that's kind of the beginning of the end of VPNs. My whole thing is when they start putting in brain chips, because I know Elon Musk, you know. Yeah. I'm very mixed on Elon Musk. Some things I agree with him on, but other things like brain chips and stuff like that, I heavily disagree with.
The Nova may be more easily dislodged if targeted with cold weaponry.
I don't need to be, my brain doesn't need to be a supercomputer. No thanks. I don't need brainwashing, remote control, you know, none of that garbage.
A friend of mine, I was talking to him on the phone yesterday, and he said that he heard Elon Musk say that every one of his technology companies, the ultimate plan is that they're going to have a use on Mars. He's so centered on Mars. It's like, the only way I'm going to Mars is someone forces me. Because for one, I'd go if I could come back. Right, but the first generation is not coming back. You're not coming back.
Used to be some big time towns.
Start the reactor.
I'd say most of the wealthiest prospectors.
I have not seen the Colin Farrell version of Total Recall, nor do I have any desire to.
But Mars is just such an inhospitable place. Now, I mean, I think we should go there in the long run. I think we're just sort of rushing it right now. Like,
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. You know, he's talking about Mars, but it's not gonna hold water.
Do the moon first.
I am detecting a rare form of electrical energy nearby.
I'm not a threat. Hold your fire, please.
He said that he wants to die on Mars.
Thank you.
What an inhospitable place to die on.
Very autistic. So yeah. Even though he's a really smart person, he's also not all there in the head.
My friends and I are new here. Think you could help us out?
Could you head out to one of those old survey sites and find me a data bank? I bet those old scientists logged some info on the pre-Legion era that would be fascinating to learn.
I'll see what I can do.
Excellent. Here's the
No, I used to always be a big overpopulation person. Like, it was an issue and now it took me a while to get my head around that in the developed world, we're actually going to be looking at underpopulation soon.
You do understand that a lot of the craziest things that have happened was a result of the overpopulist view. I mean, look at vaccines, for example. I mean, some are safe, but then there are some that are just like the COVID vaccine, for example. That there was nothing good about that thing.
Temperature's dropping.
In fact, the whole point, and I think the founder of Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson, they were all like, and heck, even, you know, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, they're all talking about reducing human population and by way of vaccine. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, they want it that way so they can just roam the earth, I think.
Pharmaceutical genocide, what else is new?
Same thing with cancer patients. A lot of people have found the cure for cancer, but they're now in jail or they're dead. Or they have a gag order, you know.
Engaging tow beam.
That's the data bank we're after. Bring it back now, carefully.
I don't think careful is part of the Starlink Initiative's motto.
Be advised, I am detecting a rare form of electrical energy nearby.
Wow, you actually came back. Tell me you got it. Incredible. This belonged to a naturalist who seems to have spent her life studying local flora. She's mentioning plant life that doesn't even exist anymore. Thank you for this.
You can always count on Slippy Toad.
I have been playing as Slippy all day today, but then again, that's just how much of an annoyance he is not.
Nice.
Comparison to Miles McKenzie.
Keep helping us out, and
You're
I'm
just
sure
playing
there's more we
Slippy
can
out of
do for
spite.
you.
No, it's like it's like maybe one day. It's like if we ever do like a dialogue overhaul, or if someone ever dares do a dialogue overhaul or a hack, it's like, yeah, let's just replace Miles with Slippy. I think we could keep Duke. Who would you replace Nora with?
I don't know.
Maybe just a Mantis person?
Of anybody.
Or a talking rock?
A talking rock.
What were you gonna say, Brox?
Oh. It was just more political stuff, but yeah.
That's no problem.
Because it was basically just like, I was regarding like, you know, the whole overpopulation thing, you know, abortion has something to do with that as well. That's another example of population control that they're trying to do.
You guys want me to do a little bit more exploration of the planet, or do you just want me to say, screw it, let's just go advance the plot? Because I think there are a few other places I really need to...
Yeah. It's up to you.
Alright. Let's just advance the plot a little bit. I can do all the... Like I did with Haven, I can do all the...
Be advised, I am detecting a rare form of electrical
really
energy
cannot
nearby.
speak anymore, because I am just done. I can do all the recruitment and getting everything on the planets done on my own time. There's no reason for me to do that on the air. Maybe like a few here and there, or if I need to build an alliance, but not right now. And if you're wondering about me going to the Crimson Moon right now, no. I want to make sure I have better equipment before I dare tackle that.
Well, you know about overpopulation.
Hold on.
Sure.
Sorry, major cutscene and the like.
Whoa. No problem.
Razor? We did good, Mono.
We did. That's the last sample.
It's gonna take some time to analyze this core.
Well, pick up the pace. We gotta hit them while they're down.
We will, Rancor. We just need to figure out where these primes are coming from first.
It is ready.
Our code. He stays until the cycle completes.
Here's what we know. The Prime is of Warden design. Its main purpose is to gather Electrum, which can be refined into Nova. And Nova can activate more Primes.
But Grax can't turn Electrum into Nova. Can he?
St. Grand can. He learned how to make Nova by studying Judge. But now...
Look, the cycle completes.
A shame it is only enough for one.
One will be enough. His crew continues to resist. but they will be swept away by the dreadnought.
What is he doing? What's this?
We've got to get St. Grand back now, before Grax is able to cover Atlas and extractors. Razor, you and I will take point.
Finally!
We are few in numbers, but armies smaller than ours have defeated.
You guys. An army. Look, it's like Hunter said. Grax is just gonna keep getting stronger and stronger. I'm looking out for myself.
Hey.
You guys should too.
Shade, you're right.
Asen?
We should split up. Dude, that's intense. There aren't enough of us. The Legion is growing. We need to keep growing. We spread out, find help from every planet in Atlas.
If we split up, we'll get picked off one by one.
Not while we have Starlink. We can combine our strengths from everywhere in Atlas.
The more of us there are, the stronger each of us is.
Exactly.
The Wardens saved us. They gave us a path to the stars, brought us out of a life of darkness. Now, what are we? Lost. I have found the key. We will redeem those unworthy. I send you forth in the dreadnought. As the Wardens will sacrifice the worlds of Atlas to the harvest of Electrum.
What have I done?
We still don't know where the primes are coming from, but using the core's data, we can now see where they ended up.
Good, because it looks like 2 more primes just landed.
To follow their progress, I've added an alliance tracker to each planet. It will tell us how Legion-infested each planet has become, and how many allies we've made to push them back.
So, what's it mean when one of the prime icons just like flips out? Cause the one on the bottom's going crazy sauce.
You're right. The prime alert on Vilas, it's gone.
Well, because I don't have any intel on that planet yet. Meanwhile, yeah, I need to start building alliances on the other planets right about now. Either get a read on who else is building or who else is free. And yeah, I need to start building these alliances like right the hell now. Maybe during off the air, if I decide to go a little bit forward with this, I'll definitely try to knock off as much as possible and at least start building alliances onward. But yeah, this is where I get my work cut out for me. And I'd also say earlier, it's probably a better idea once you're done with your base work on Haven to start building alliances, or at least make friends with everyone else on the planet. And that way you'll just save yourself a bunch of headaches. But yeah, on Hard and Nightmare, it's like, good luck. Good luck with all of that. Yeah, that kind of sums up the rest of Starlink. Anyway, I'll give you guys like a few more minutes to finish up your last conversation, but then I think, yeah, if I'm gonna do a little bit more of this stuff, I know I'll definitely skip to the ending, so at least I can show you guys some of the gameplay loop or post-game. Not the ending, but again, it's like, this was just a comparison point, and this was just bonus coverage to get the taste of Prime 4 out of my mouth. But yeah, there was a very particular reason I picked this and Xenoblade as my extras. I mean, Extreme G, yeah, for the cycling segment, I'm like, yeah, that was a no duh. But yeah, between Starlink and Xenoblade, I'm going, yeah, you guys are starting to get the logic of why I picked these two.
It seemed fun. Well, Prox, what I was gonna say is,
I think it'd probably be better if we continued it after the stream.
Sure, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
And maybe for shits and giggles, maybe further down the line, or just like one more cycle of bonus coverage. I'm like, hey, we're dealing with a boss that deals with electricity. I might as well just do one little round of Azure Striker Gunvolt. One round. Okay. But yeah, to your other previous points event, yeah, Phantasy Star 1, it's like, that's a little bit too fresh in my mind, and I've just done that front to back, so I'm like, maybe not. Yeah, with 2, again, I don't want to do it vanilla. I simply don't have the patience for that anymore. 4, I'll do vanilla because 4 is already balanced enough fairly as it is, but 2 is not. And I have no desire to go through 3 right now. I mean, yeah, 3 does have like 4 distinct endings, but it's more or less one of those games where the acts are done by each generation of a person. So who you decide to marry, you know, changes who the next character is, and then the plot divides from there. But yeah, 3's problem is that it is so freaking slow. 4 is nice, but yeah, I'd rather not do 4 without doing 2. Alright. As far as Metroid Prime goes, yeah, next week I'll do... Yeah, so I'm thinking about 3 more sessions for this. Yeah, next week will be Great Minds. 2 weeks from now will be Mech Part Collection and other cleanup. And then after that is going to be Endgame. So, yeah, we got 3 more weeks of this, and I need to write down something.
Hard going through this game, especially after you replayed it like twice. Usually when I go through Metroid Prime games, I generally like make it a point to 100% them every playthrough. Not this game.
No, because because it's like I am done combing the desert.
Exactly.
It's like Prime 1, yeah, definitely. Yeah, because the other Prime games, or at least 1 and 2, I don't have the lore trackers with me, but, you know, I did print out the item guides, or at least in an order that made sense to me. I mean, it's not the most ideal guide, but I'm like, I did write down, it's like, when's the earliest I can get it, or when's the earliest I should get it.
Right.
Yeah, Prime 3 already has the satellite tracker, so I don't really need to kick myself over that. But yeah, 4, I'm just going, oh my god, these crystals. It's like, guys, I'm like, this was the same shit I've dealt with Mass Effect 1. I'm like, I do not need to repeat this again.
Sure.
Make sure to Found something with Tails game on it. I really want to do a Tails game on air. I've only done the Game Boy Advance version of Fantasia a few years ago, and that I'm starting to regret. One of OG Symphonia or Vesperia I'll do. I regret not having the PS3 version of Symphonia. I heard that version was actually pretty decent, but I heard the Steam version was a mess, and the Switch version was a complete frickin' joke. Yeah. Yeah, next week will be Great Minds, and then I'll do a little bit more Xenoblade Chronicles X. But yeah, I'll contemplate a little bit starting again, and then if I want to do a run from scratch, I'll do that. But yeah, otherwise it's bonus coverage.
I think for your next video title, you should call it Great Minds, Different Thoughts.
Huh.
Still have the naming flair.
and that Silex fight, well, the Silex Doombot fight, that was over pretty quickly. I think that's the only real fight we really had today. And then I just did the Prime fight in Starlink, but that's just one of many.
But yeah, Event, it's going to become very egregious to you once you find out. Like, once we go through the Great Minds, you're going to see, oh, we're running into these enemies again. Yeah, there's a cave, Shren.
I feel like I should just do the Great Minds segment out of Half-Life 2 Episode 2 out of spite for next week. What do you guys say to that?
It's up to you. Go for it.
Quick question about that. Do you want me to do just the vanilla version, or vanilla 20th anniversary version, or do you want me to do it through mod? It doesn't matter which, but
I don't care.
All right, 20th anniversary version it is.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I need to get back to that game. I got to the
You got to Ravenholm, but you
yeah. Wasn't using the gravity gun, I know. I used all my ammo up and then
yeah, because there's a lot of physics props in Ravenholm, because Ravenholm is supposed to demonstrate to you the value of using the gravity gun. There's also
you do get that. Don't you get that shotgun or something at the top of the building? You know what I'm talking about?
You get the shotgun from Father Grigori, but yeah, for dealing with the fast head crab zombies. But yeah, it's like leading up to that, you should have used the gravity gun for the majority of the fight. It's like you can still use your ammo here and there, but it's like there were a lot of things. But it's like at least half of the enemies you should have used a physics prop to hit him with the gravity gun. But yeah,
I kind of burned out of that game a little bit.
Yeah, the second half of Ravenholm, you can start leaning on the shotgun. But yeah, the entire first half is like, yeah, there's physics props everywhere. There's things you can light all the zombies on fire with. Use all of that. And then I have not done this achievement yet because I don't know. I play Half-Life 2 on hard, but then again, it's like hard mode on Half-Life 2 is just basically weapon and damage scaling. Yeah, there's an achievement in 2 where you're supposed to go through Ravenholm only using the gravity gun. I'm going, yeah, I am not good enough at the game to try that on hard. It's like, fine, I'll do it on easy. But I don't know in which segment that achievement stops. If you have to go through the entirety of the town itself, or if you have to make it to the cemetery, or you have to pass the cemetery. But yeah, I'm like, it's more or less just a cosmetic thing. There's no like big 100% perk for it. But yeah, if you want me to show you Half-Life 2 up to that point, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, because if you played because I had the demo for 2 way back when. Yeah, it gave you like the first few segments of point insertion or before you walk into the apartment, and then for Ravenholm, everything up to the cemetery. But when you start the chapter, you're only given 1 magazine of ammo for all of your guns. That's it.
Right.
They do expect you to use the gravity gun through and through for that. Alright. Yeah. Maybe next time, yeah, we'll do the Great Minds in Prime 4, and I'm gonna hate every second of it, because I may have a few extra choice words. That is, if Prox doesn't beat me to the punch with it. So yeah.
I probably will.
Yeah.
Because, like, here's the thing. Just, like, it had so much potential, but it was so squandered. Like, man.
I'd rather go through Phazon Mines than the Great Minds, but yeah, that's just me, and I hate Phazon Mines sometimes.
100%.
Yeah, we'll do, yeah, let's do that, and then, yeah, I was gonna do Xenoblade Chronicles X for bonus coverage, but I don't think that's gonna make sense at this point in time, so, yeah, next week, I'll do a little bit, I'll do maybe the Mind segment, or at least, I'll probably do, like, the first 2 hours or so of Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Why not? But yeah, I know, yeah, Prox and Events, you have one little extra discussion I cut you guys off with, mainly because I hit that cutscene, and then
fine, honestly, yeah.
And then I'll show Events the Ravenholm chapter from 2 off the air. But yeah, as far as like our on-air stuff goes, yeah, I am DONE done. But then again, it's like that, such as Metroid Prime 4 No Way Home.
I love that name. I still like mine, Metroid Prime 4 Dilution.
Yeah, we're done. Anyways, I'm gonna go cut the feed in a few seconds, so yeah, normally I'd say there's some last call stuff, but you guys know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do trails over the weekend, and then yeah, I think
and I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X can probably wait a little bit longer, but yeah, it's like given the thematic theme of my bonus coverage for one reason or another, yeah, I think it would make sense for me to do episode 2. So yeah, we got 3 more sessions of Prime 4 for me to yak, bitch, and complain about. So yeah, hang in there, everybody. But yeah, I am DONE done. So I'm gonna cut the feed. So thank you guys for coming by. We'll see you guys next time. But in the meantime,
bye.
Stay sweet, stay sensational, don't be salty, and we will see you guys later. Have a good one, everybody.
Wow. Do the Stitch. Wow.
Yeah, everything we've saw, everything we lost. I got one thing to say to you. Bye!